Bowman Gray Stadium, the Madhouse.
It's the Madhouse Maniacs. They're getting up on their feet.
Mass chaos. Oh, he hits them, climbing all over each other. Trouble.
Every time you turn around, there's physicality.
The fans are on their feet for a photo finish. Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the home of NASCAR's greatest Coliseum. We have action every Saturday night here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Still the most exciting of them all. Big crash. Oh! This is Bowman Gray. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the 1124th edition of still the most exciting of them all. Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and on a hot summer day here in Winston-Salem, we are ready for the Colors Edge 100 for the Sportsman Division. Oh boy, is it a hot, muggy day. The tempers have been flaring. The fans are arriving at the Madhouse. I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, joined by Camel City native James Pike. We've got a big lineup for you tonight.
Big lineup indeed. Our headline event is the Colors Edge 100 for the Law Offices of John Barrow Sportsman Series. That is our third race of the program. We open up with the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series feature, twin 25s for the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds, and two 15-lap races for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series to round out tonight's program.
Well, both you and I were not here last week, but there was some amazing racing here in a rain-shortened program that took place. Brandon Ward splitting the modified twin 25s with Tim Brown, who scores his 102nd career win. Sportsman Nate Gregg pops off number one, and Sterling Clemens, A.J. Sanders, the Grand Master of the Stadium Stocks as well. And it was a wild night, but nobody was really talking about that at the end of the night, Pike. Everybody here at the stadium last week and today is talking about one thing: Burt Myers versus Mike Speeney.
In one race, Mike Speeney had made contact with all three of the Myers family about 2 months ago. Burt Myers, Jason Myers, Slate Myers, very frustrated.
Right now, Mike Speeney's got Burt Myers on the inside of him, battling for second. He does not want Myers to get ahead of him as they get together.
History between those two.
We take the green, and I have a wheel to the door of the 10 getting into turn 3, and he squeezed me down, and there's a patch of wet on that concrete, and he squeezed me down so much that the car turned sideways when I got on it, and it chased it out into him.
You see Mike Speeney and points at Burt Myers. He says, "You got one coming."
Now, Mike and Burt had plenty to say about the incident in the week following. This is what Mike Speeney said about the incident. He said, "Burt just nerfed me the whole way in that turn." And Mike said, "I'm going to bring two cars next week. I'm going to wreck him in both races." Burt has run out of talent for the last 10 years now, and the only way he's up there is because he's cheating. We are getting rid of his cheating, and now we find out he can't drive, so maybe he should give it up. But Burt being Burt, he had something to say about that, too.
Yeah, here's Burt's response.
What's comical is the comments about how dirty driver, Burt Myers, this and that. I haven't aggressively dumped anybody in over 10 years. I run people with respect. I will say that it does speak for a person's character whenever they publicize the reason that they're going to a racetrack is to try to wreck somebody. Make sure they're on the hooks, I think is the direct quote. Fair enough. I think it's cute. If you think you're going to threaten me by telling me you're going to wreck me or telling me you're going to outwork me, all it's going to do is cause a lot of problems. Saturday night was just racing. I got pinched down on the flat. We got together. One of us ended up wrecked. Not intentional, but it also wasn't my fault.
So while Speeney had the big words to the Winston-Salem Journal, the response from Burt Myers, and then today, Mike Speeney, a man of his word. The Speeneys showed up with two trailers and unloaded two modifieds. Yes, Dan Speeney will be in a zero car tonight, a second Speeney car, and to boot, on Route 52, a billboard appeared today with two race cars. Speeney's on it, and it said "Championship Denied" with a black silhouetted car. Corey Latham got the photo with a question mark on it. Everybody alluding to the fact that that would be a dig at Burt Myers. Folks, it's heating up. Everybody here in attendance, everybody in the pit area is talking about this rivalry that's brewing. Folks, is it a war of words or is it a war? We'll find out next on Flow Racing.
Lord, I pray as I race today, keep me safe along the way, not only me, but others too, as they perform the jobs they do. Lord, I know that in a race, I, the driver, must set the pace. But in this race of life, I pray, help me, Lord, along the way. Although I know I'm a sinner, help me to believe that with Christ, you're always a winner. Amen. Now please remain standing as you're able, removing your caps and your hats, as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Madhouse, you know what they say, Saturday night's all right for racing, so let's go racing! First up tonight,
Welcome back to the Madhouse, Bowman Gray Stadium for night 1,124, and the tension is in the air. The crowd has entered, and right now entering the track is the first race of the night. The Street Stockers going for 20 laps. QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series. Here is the starting lineup for tonight's first race. Starting first on the pole, and the number 9 Fortress Roofing Machine, it's Brandon Brown. To the outside, the Motorsports on main number 10, it's Kendall Craig Hartless.
Starting in third, the number 1 machine out of Trinity, North Carolina, driving the Precision Fab car, multi-time champion of this series, Christian Joyce. And starting in fourth in the 82 machine out of Brown Summit, North Carolina, the all-about realty machine piloted by Halvey, Justin Halverson.
Starting fifth tonight in the Garrison Gray Garage Doors of the Triad, number 13, it's the K-Train Kevin Gilbert. To the outside, the Just Chillin' Lawn Care, number 4, she's back, it's Emily Lewis.
Starting in seventh, the number 72 machine out of Lexington, North Carolina, representing Turn and Burn Hobby and Raceway, it's Brian Robertson. Starting to his outside in eighth out of Thomasville, North Carolina, it's the number 33 Route 64 Donner car, piloted by DJ Dean.
Starting ninth tonight, the US Unlimited Services, number 16, it's Brad Lewis. To the outside, your points leader, the Priority One Auto Sales, number 99, it's Brian Sykes Jr.
Starting in 11th, the number 28 out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, representing Sykes Metal Roofing, it's Brian Sykes, Sr. And starting to his outside in 12th, and the number 35 car representing Avery's Collision Center, also out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Andy Avery.
Starting in lucky position number 13 tonight in the Coger Plumbing, number 30, it's the fastest plumber, it's Zach Coger. And to the outside, the Privacy Fence Solutions, number 6, it's Chrissy Wallace.
Starting in 15th, the number 88 machine out of Low Gap, North Carolina, the Devin Freeman construction machine, piloted this evening by Brian Shoup. Starting in the 16th spot in the 05 car out of Siloam, North Carolina, racing for Law and Order Auto Sales, it's Hayden Hall. And the 00, Spencer Martin. Also out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the final car in the 17-car field for this first race of the evening in the QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series.
Well, the Street Stockers didn't get to run last week because the rains came, and they were all disappointed. But tonight, we get to look forward to this right here. A guy right there in the number 72, the big man, Bryant Robertson, who's got a win this year, of course, in that number 72 car. But he is breaking a tie with his brother tonight, Michael Robertson, as we like to call him sometimes. But Mike Robertson, a great here at Bowman Gray. Bryant Robertson, his 250th career start. That is an awesome milestone for this guy who runs Turn and Burn Hoppies down near Midway, and it's a great place to go if you haven't been there. But respect and kudos tonight for Start 250 for the big man.
We talked a few weeks ago about how Randy Butner picked up the Ironman Award in the modified division and got the most starts there. Brian Robertson, I think in a lot of ways, parallels very similarly in that he's got a ton of experience, and he's also someone that pretty much everybody in this field respects. Nobody would ever question that Brian Robertson doesn't know how to wheel a race car, and there are a lot of guys who will race him hard but race him fair because he's done this as much as anybody in this particular series here at the Madhouse.
Well, it's been quite a season for the Street Stockers, and Brian Sykes Jr. is your points leader. The number 99 machine, also 2 wins on the season for Sykes, but Kevin Gilbert, the K-Train, with his first win there in 198 starts, I think it took to get him in. But he is second in points right now. What a great run and a great season so far for the Garage Doors of the Triad, number 13, only 28 points behind. But you see Bryant Robertson right there, buddy, 80 points behind. He's not completely out of it. He's now Justin Mincy coming off the top rope here. 64th all-time on the starts list. Brian is one of only 9 drivers to make a start in all 4 current divisions. So, and we'll be seeing one of those other drivers tonight, Bobby Reed.
I think looking at these points, and this is a theme we're going to come back to in every division tonight, if you are not the points leader, remember that the final night is double points, so you have the opportunity to make up some gap. And I think for a lot of these drivers, for your Kevin Gilberts, your Brad Lewises, if you're trying to run down Brian Sykes Jr. in the point standings, I think tonight is more about just chipping away what you can. You don't need to get the points lead back in one race, but make sure that you gain a little bit of ground here and in the next week, so that when we get to the season finale on August 24th, you have a manageable gap that you can make up with double points in effect.
Yes, that's exactly right. 5 weeks, if you include tonight, 5 weeks left on the schedule, of course. For the Sportsman division, there's twin races. Not tonight, 100-lapper. For the Modifieds, we have twin 25s tonight. We have twin 50s coming up in 2 weeks on August 9th, the Ortega Modified twin 50s. So a lot of racing left for all the drivers here at Bowman Gray to make up points. But remember, just as much as you can make them up, you could lose them. So you don't want to have a night where you need a Band-Aid.
You really, really do not want to put yourself in trouble. As the lights go off the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle, Jimmy Amsher will pull to his place in the middle of the north turn. And next time by, we will take the green flag. 1 to go signal from the flag stand. So we are almost ready to go for night 1,124 of racing at still the most exciting of it all, Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
The fans are really starting to file in here, including a great friend, longtime Riverhead Raceway announcer Steve Halpin, bringing his 3 kids here for the first time ever. Bowman Gray Stadium is a bucket list venue, and as the crowd rises to their feet, they go green for night 1,124.
Brandon Brown did not get a good jump, getting all kinds of pushes here from Christian Joyce. He's going to muscle his way to the inside. and dirt track it off of the south turn and find his way underneath Brown to get a second. Here comes K-Train trying to ride that bottom. Poor Brandon Brown is stuck up on that high line with nowhere to go. Contact between Halverson and Brian Robertson. Remember, they got into it earlier in the year. Halvey's going to have to back down. Here comes Brad Lewis on the inside. Single file, though, through the top 5.
Look at that battle right there. You see Elgin Trailer on that right there. Halverson is going backwards. Alverson Halvey looks like he's got some trouble on that number 82 car. He's stacking them all up. Here comes DJ Dean to the inside of him and Hayden Hall in the 05. And right behind that, you see the familiar Stanley car of Chrissy Wallace and Emily Lewis behind Chrissy Wallace. Will she give her the bumper?
Absolute wild battle here a little bit further back in the back as Hayden Hall tries to make that move underneath Halvey and gets it done. Wallace there to the inside. Here comes Emily Lewis looking to the bottom 2. And that 00 Spencer Martin looking for a spot.
This is a good little battle that we're watching, but the battle is heating up towards the front of this field right now. Kendall Craig Hartless in the lead, trying to get his first ever win here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Christian Joyce, the driver of this division that has been the most snake-bitten all year long. Rejoice, his last race here was 3rd. Finally, he got the monkey off his back. Can he get the real monkey off his back and get one more spot here tonight and get a win? The 2-time defending champion of this division.
I think Christian would be the first to say this is not the season that he had in mind. However, he's got a battle on his hands. Here comes K-Train, Kevin Gilbert to the inside, and Brian Sykes Jr. is making up spots a few spots behind. But if you are junior, you are not in love with what you are seeing out of your windshield, because here comes K-Train trying to get the lead, trying to eat into the points lead.
Yeah, K-Train is choo-choo. He's on the go right now, and a big battle is brewing right behind it as well for the 4th position. Bryant Robertson trying to hang on for dear life as the number 16 of Brad Lewis is all over him for the 4th position, but now for the lead. They are sideways through the north turn. Hartless has his hands full right now. Here comes the K-Train.
Fabulous battle for 1st, fabulous battle for 4th, as Brad Lewis has gotten into the inside and gotten underneath Brian Robertson to try and take that spot away. But a yellow flag out on the racetrack. There's a car stopped over by the exit of turn 4.
Is that Andy Avery's car? I'm not sure. It is, I believe. Andy Avery's car spun there. And, oh, man, there's some colossal damage there. That was your pole sitter, Brandon Brown, with the white wheels, and huge damage. A huge collision here. Oh, calamity, and a lot of tore-up race cars at Bowman Gray in turn number 4.
We may not have Jeff Button's beloved can opener anymore over in that corner, but that's not to say that turn 4 cannot grab you and cannot cause a lot of chaos.
Well, that's even before the can opener right there. Oh, my
but
Lord.
Still, a lot of speedy dry going to be needed to clean this up. A lot of fluids coming out of both machines. So they will spray the speedy dry down, and they will stop the cars on the racetrack as they get this incident cleaned up. Our first incident of the evening, and a big one over at the exit of the north turn.
Wow, this is a big one, and there is going to be an extensive cleanup as the Daniel Davis towing crew, Big Red, is out there now. You see Cornbread, the official, right there, looking at the damage, assessing it on those cars. Folks, we're going to take a quick break on Flow Racing as they clean up the cars, the carnage, the beach. But we'll be back with all the racing here from Bowman Gray. Sportsman 100 on its way, 2 modified races. Stay tuned. This is going to be a doozy.
Between Brian Robertson and the number 16 Radical Fire Protection of Brad Lewis. There's not a lot of give and take going on between them two.
Yeah, no, that's.
And Randy Pulliam, I did not see what happened there with the number 9, so Brandon Brown leaving a little bit early on the hook. All righty, race fans. Something that you should have in your pocket that you always have that a lot of us just can't live without. Check your pocket, check your purses, check your shoes and your socks, and if you've got something missing, you need to come up here and see us. Once again, if you're missing your phone, come see us.
All right, race fans, it's time for the second round lucky number giveaway. NASCAR Hall of Fame lucky number giveaway. You'll find the number on the back of your souvenir program. The numbers are up on the board. Those numbers, 98881. You won a Ticket Hoss hat and a flag. Number 11572, you've won an Ag South t-shirt and koozie. If you have number 06596, you're the winner of a John Deere prize pack. Number 10907, you won a Reynolds seat cushion. Lucky number 72853, you're also the winner of a Reynolds seat cushion. And if you have number 95425, you won a Budweiser drawstring bag. If you have any of those lucky numbers, take them over to the souvenir sales station at the Red Van, the south gate near the flagpole to claim your prize. Once again, those numbers, 98881, 11572, 06596, 10907, 72853, 95.
Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your #1 source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs.
Gotta love Choice Tire and Automotive, big sponsor here of the Flow Racing broadcast at Bowman Gray Stadium and a big part of the stadium. They sponsor Burt Myers' car. I know Slate Myers had his truck up there this week getting 4 new shoes on it. I called Eric up there at Choice Tire and Automotive, and I said, you know, you support the stadium. I want to buy my tires from you, so I'm getting 4 new shoes on old 51, my dad's old truck here next week. So up in Kernersville, great place if you're a local here. Support the people that support your sport, including Pulliam's Hot Dogs. Mark is sitting right next to us right now, and a lot of great companies here, Zeno Marshall's, Thunder Road Grill, so many great companies here. You see all the billboards on above the walls there. There's so many amazing Brad's Golf Cars, everybody, QRC, HVAC, and refrigeration that support our sport.
I know this is a little bit of a niche thought here, but when they redid the wall here, I wasn't necessarily certain how they were going to take advantage of the space because the dimensions of our new safer barrier here that were installed for the Clash a little bit different than what we had with the old guardrail.
Raise them a little, that's it.
Well, they spread them out. They made them thinner and wider.
Well, they raised them up to the top of the facade.
That too. But still, it's neat to see that and that's one of those things that just is part of Bowman Gray. It wouldn't be Bowman Gray without all the great partners set up, as you see some of the track drawing efforts over on our speed shot. But it wouldn't be Bowman Gray without all the partners lining the walls on the setup here. So,
well, let's take a look at the replay. We've been clamoring to see this replay of what just happened to bring us in under caution. Oh, and you see the 9 car just spin, and he gets stacked into late there. Wow. That's a lot of damage right there for those 2 cars.
A lot of it, and it doesn't take a lot.
Brandon Brown got it from both ends there. That's unfortunate for the driver, that number 9, beautifully prepared machine. Fortress Roofing on the side of that car. And there is the beach. What a great job by our track crew, led by Jimmy and all the boys. Jimmy getting a call up this week. He's going to be able to work in the Big 3 series of NASCAR coming up soon. Great to see so many people come up through the ranks here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
And I think that's the mission here more than anything else, that this, much like so many other tracks in the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series, it's a place to give birth and give rise to so many great careers.
Not just drivers.
And yeah, not just drivers, right? So
great point.
And but before I was calling races here, I was taking tickets here, right? And you sort of just move your way up, and this is what, in part, this track does for Winston-Salem and for the Tryon. Anybody that's from around this area, this is your first chance to see NASCAR live and local in the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series. As the lights go up, the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle, Jimmy Amsher ready to go here.
And let's see, Kendall Craig Hartless, buddy. He's in the lead, but K-Train, he's looking for win number 2. Christian Joyce, an 11-race winless drought, is in 3rd. He is hungry as well. His last win almost a year ago, August 10th. Can he do it from 3rd? We'll find out.
Crazy to think it's been that long, given how good that car has been throughout the last 3 seasons in this series. Here we go. Green flag back out. Great jump for Hartless. Christian Joyce immediately looking to the inside of K-Train. Brad Lewis going down to the bottom to get underneath Robertson. And here comes Brian Sykes Jr. looking for the 5th position on the inside. Works his way down to the bottom of the north turn and will try and follow suit behind Brad Lewis to work his way up into the top 5. Clears Robertson at the front stretch.
Well, that battle for the 5th is on, and now the 99 gets the spot. Move the points leader into the 5th position. That is Brian Sykes Jr. in that beautifully prepared number 99. Now up front, 12 laps on the board, 20 lapper. Hartless, can he hang on?
Big battle a little bit further back, but up at the front, Hartless here trying to hold off K-Train, trying to hold off a rejuvenated Christian Joyce. This is as good as this car has looked all season long, just about. He's found that speed, but here goes Brad Lewis with the bumper there to Christian Joyce on the exit of the south turn, looking to the inside now, but Joyce will slam the door as they work their way through lap 13, and Hartless just about lost the lead as he just about lost the rear end of the car on the exit of the north turn.
Hartless is loose as heck right now, and K-Train might be able to take advantage of it. 2 great battles on the racetrack for you here at Bowman Gray. Coming to lap 15, 5 to go. K-Train gets into him. Hartless saves it.
K-Train starting to put the bumper there to Hartless.
Here comes
Might try it
Lewis.
again. Here comes Brad Lewis looking to the inside of Christian Joyce, trying to get 3rd. Where does K-Train go? Any contact? This time, no. He tries to force Hartless to slide it up, and Hartless opens the door. There may be an opportunity for K-Train to run it down the inside. Not quite. He goes all the way down to the concrete to try and find a spot on the inside, and it's not there yet.
You know how bad Hartless wants to win this. K-Train knows the feeling, as he just got his first win just weeks ago.
Everybody completely on edge and sideways here. There is not a tight race car amongst the top 5. Everybody is loose and all over the place trying to hang on to it. Coming to 2 to go here. 1 car slow in the infield. It's Brandon Brown, and it will bring out our second call, 811, before you did caution, and we'll set up I believe a 2-lap dash to the finish. Matthew Dillner, how about that?
Well, I'll tell you what, we had a lot of fluid down on the track, and they did a good job of cleaning it up. And I would say that some of that looseness was maybe because of that, but, I mean, it was the same thing in turns 1 and 2. Hartless, you know, you could tell he hasn't won his first race. He is excited to the throttle. Every time he's getting on the throttle, he is plumb going for it. That's the thing. He is going for it, and he's driving his heart out, pun intended.
Oh, everybody in the top 5, because he wasn't the only one that was loose on corner exit. He was loose. K-Train was loose. I saw Brad Lewis a little bit. So it is that wonderful balance of patience and precision that I think really comes to the fore in this series, just with the way the engine package works. You can drive it up out of the corner if you need to, but you can't rush to get back to the throttle because you're sending yourself sideways, and you have to find that sort of line in the middle that you ride in order to put yourself in good state. Jimmy Amsher pulls the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle down. Here we go. Green, white checker, Matthew Dillner.
Well, don't count out the driver in 3rd position right now, Brad Lewis. Arguably the fastest car on the track. Good restart by Kendall Craig Hartless. Big wreck. Alverson is in smoke. Sheet metal flying all over the place. Zach Koger's car is in the infield grass. So was Emily Lewis's, but carnage for Halvey.
Alvy's car is pretty well torn up. You see all sorts of fluid coming out of the radiator, and that was the first incident of the evening that got the Madhouse Maniacs, as Jeff Blunt likes to call them, on their feet. Pretty much everybody in the few handful of sections directly underneath us, all standing, looking, and a lot of them have differing opinions on what just happened with Justin Alverson.
Oh, yeah. There's some talk that it looks like the 4 car might have got into Alverson. We do not know. I have not seen it. But the 82, we are told, might have spun in front of the 4. But right now, Alverson's car is in a heap. Ooh, twisted sister. It's a little twisted sheet metal. The thing looks like it's a D. Schneider car right there.
So
There's the big man.
Halverson will exit the vehicle, take a look, and assess the damage that he's going to have to fix in the shop before they come back here next week and take a ride on the Gator right next to his machine and get on back to the infield.
And Alverson, trying to get some experience in this division. And that number 82 car, of course, noted the first week of the season, his little dust up there with Zach Staley. But, also the fact that he is a pressure washer by trade. He works all day in the hot sun, pressure washing driveways, houses,
Honestly, pressure washing, when you do it right, really satisfying.
Yeah, it really is, because it's to clean up things. Hey, let's take a quick break on Flow Racing. Let's first actually look at this replay. Oh, we got a replay of this. The 4 gets into him, it looks like, a little bit there. Oh, interesting.
Not the first time we've seen contact in this series. Not the first time we've seen somebody go sideways in that corner in this series either.
Let's toss it to a quick break on Flow Racing, and we'll be back here with the rest of this one.
Crowd on hand tonight. Appreciate each and every one of y'all coming out here to Bowman Gray Stadium. Considering it's about 115 degrees outside. God bless all of you for coming out and being here. It looks like we have an issue right there with DJ Dean, a fire, possibly. Talking about the heat, race fans, is if you think about how hot you are sitting in these stands, you think about each and every one of these drivers out here in these race cars.
Well, a little bit of a hot moment for DJ Dean, the driver of that number 33 car right there, who graduated from the Stadium Stock Division, Kenny's Plumbing Route 64 Diner on that car. But the Diner might have had a little grease fire. A little bit of a fire in the cockpit of that car, and DJ climbed out under his own power, and they got the fire put out. So Mike Cates right there waving them by. He will be in action. The track crew guy there in the orange that just walked out of your screen. He'll be in action in the stadium stocks tonight. Track crew, and he races the car. There's DJ Dean right there, the big guy in the gray shirt. He's got the top of his fire suit off.
I think trying to coordinate there with the track services crew just to figure out how they're going to get this car hitched up and towed out of the infield.
Bonds by Amy. Look at that. That's a good sponsor. Anytime you got a bail bond sponsor, you don't mess with a guy that's got a bail bond sponsor, right, Pike?
I'm not one to tempt fate, but then again, I'm a twig, so I'm not particularly one to try and.
I'm a small guy, so I wouldn't tempt any fate.
I'd rather not have to
small.
be in the market per se, something to that effect. Not my style.
I love the Gator pushing the car off right there, and DJ Dean's car refires. It's got the hood on the back. Hopefully she don't blow off as he brings it back to the pit area.
He's got it sort of put right there on the edges. Oh, it's going to be close.
Hope he doesn't forget about it.
Oh, it's going to be close, though. It's starting to twist. It's starting to twist. He's going to make it. Oh, so close there.
There it goes.
Right at the end.
Oh, man.
Right.
Poor DJ Dean.
Oh, man.
Oh, the hood. Somebody pick it up. Oh, there goes that guy.
99% of the way there. So that's how we come back to 1 to go.
Oh, but not just 1 to go. This, I believe, will be a green and white together not a green-white checker, 1/4 mile trip around Bowman Gray Stadium to decide who will be the winner. Will it be a first-time winner, Kendall Craig Hartless in the 10, a second-time winner, or will the veteran, Brad Lewis, win it from third?
What kind of calamity will we see here? Waiting on the flag stand. Green flag is out. Off they go. Kendall Craig Hartless with a decent jump. K-Train going to put the bumper in the middle of the corner. Misses his shot, though, and he'll have one more opportunity here on the north turn.
Kendall Craig Hartless, Motorsports on Main, and he'll send it down Main Street on the front stretch to win for the first time at Bowman Gray Stadium. Give the win to Hartless.
Kendall Craig Hartless, finally in a division that has produced a fair amount of first-time winners in 2025. The Street Stocks give us another one, and this should be a very fun Carolina Wood Floors victory lane. He becomes the 120th different driver to win here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Oh, this is a moment he's been waiting for, gripping that Bowman Gray Stadium checkered flag in his hands. Tonight, for the first time, he beats out K-Train, Kevin Gilbert, Brad Lewis in third, fourth for Christian Joyce, and fifth for your points leader, Brian Sykes Jr.
You know, I saw a fun thread on social media talking about this car. This used to compete regularly in competition at Hickory Motor Speedway, another track of the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series.
Do you know who from?
Oh, I forget immediately, but I know that Travis Brown ran a few laps in this, and he asked...
former Landon Huffman car.
Yes, former Landon Huffman car, and they asked, you know, what's up with this thing? And Eric Messer, our track photographer, made the point that it now runs here at Bowman Gray Stadium, and now it's a race-winning car.
Nothing like a first-time winner, and the entire crew is running behind them, celebrating here at Bowman Gray Stadium. The Bullies boys and girls are all in victory lane. Let's go down to Randy Pulliam for the winner. Oh, some words maybe here in victory lane, but it looks like all excitement. Here he is.
Craig, let's turn around here so folks at Flow Racing and all over the country can see. Congratulations. I know you've been looking for that win a long, long time.
Yeah, been fighting trouble all year, a couple years in a row. Finally figured some stuff out. Still lose because the tracks, everybody's having problems, but yeah, we made it here. Led all 20. Can't do it without my sponsors. We got Motorsports on Main, Bullies Bars and Grills, beers, liquor after the party. Got Cooper Lake Cannabis, Taylor Lane Dick Cleaning, D&M Pressure Washing, and Joey Miller Realtor, and Amazon by Randy Wilson, and Cars Auto Spa.
Craig, congratulations to you. I know you want to go over there and pick up your first ever winner's trophy over the Carolina Winner's Circle. Carolina Wood Floors, open your doors to beautiful floors at Carolina Wood Floors.
All right, big first win for Craig Hartless there, the driver of the number 10. Chrissy Wallace, teammate, and they share sponsors as well. They're celebrating with him. The Bullies boys and girls having a good time in victory lane. Let's toss it to break real quick on Flow Racing, because up next, the 600 horsepower ground pounders. It's the NASCAR Modifieds.
Rolling off 14th in the AIR Roofing Ward Performance Chevrolet for Winston-Salem, number 12, the Bean Ward. Rolling off 13th in the Bryson Brothers Aerial Solutions, Ben Gable Enterprise, Detroit Tire and Automotive Chevrolet from Kernersville, number 6, a Slate Meyer. Starting 12th in the FX Caprera Car Company Chevrolet from Mooresville, number 79, of Brian Flores. Starting 11th, the Crossroads Body Shop, E-Metals, Brindle Site, Turning to Stella, starting Chevrolet from Monroe, the double Q. Now your top 10. In the course number 41 of Bobby Meisner Jr. Starting 9th at the Black Chain Company, Ron Crew, Parkway Records on the Chevrolet.
The 83. Well, the Rocket Man will break the winless streak here tonight at Bowman Gray Stadium with his 102nd win of his NASCAR modified career at Bowman Gray. The streak is over.
Just got to thank this team. You know, we've worked hard all year. We ain't been the team we wanted to be all year, but we're back in victory lane, and hopefully it takes this momentum and move on to the rest of the season.
Big milestone moment last week. 102nd win for the great Tim Brown, the driver of the Jerry Hunt Supercenter number 83. Modified race number 1, 25 laps or twin 25s tonight. Here's the starting lineup for the first race. On the pole in the Wahlberg Pizza Grill, number 75, it's the great Lee Jeffries to the outside, the Citrus Safe. Number 1 from Walnut Cove, North Carolina, it's the ace, Burt Myers.
Starting in the third spot, the working man out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, racing the number 4 for Carolina Drilling, Jason Myers. And starting in fourth, the showstopper, the Smith Trucking driver, the number 16 out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, Chris Fleming.
Starting fifth tonight, and all eyes will be on the QRC HVAC and refrigeration. Number 10, the Bulldog, Mike Speeney to the outside, the Q104.1, Suzuki 104. The points leader, Brennan Ward.
Starting in seventh and most recent winner in this series, the Rocket out of Tobaccoville, North Carolina, driving the Duggins Welding number 83, Tim Brown. Starting in eighth out of Mount Olive, North Carolina, racing the DL Outfitters number 51, it's the Snowman, Junior Snow.
Starting in ninth tonight, all the way from Tennessee, he's a native of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the Black Sand Company number 69, Superman, John Holloman to the outside, the driver that they call Farmer Ted, the Z-Max number 41 for Bobby Meisner Jr.
Starting in 11th out of Monroe, North Carolina, driving the Stella's towing 00, the Flying Taco, Danny Probst. And starting in 12th out of Manasquan, New Jersey, the EME Industrial Services number 79, piloted by Skip Flores.
Starting in 13th, Hustler, S&P Lemonade, number 6, fourth generation driver Slate Myers to the outside, the veteran in the AAR Roofing, number 12, it's the great Dean Ward.
Starting in 15th, the number 64, John Stackett Local Machine out of Lexington, North Carolina, Ethan Drool. And starting in 16th, the number 5, Carolina Tri-Choice Realty Car out of Poptown, North Carolina, driven by Randy Butner.
Starting 17th tonight, on your feet if you're watching from S&R Motor Company tonight, the Putin Swisher Tribute, number 53, it's the Mayberry Bullet, John Smith to the outside, the Coker Plumbing number 44, it's Daniel Beeson.
Starting in 19th, the 07 Walkertown Auto Sales car out of Walkertown, North Carolina, it's the real deal, Riley Neal. And starting in 20th, the number 8 out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, racing for Redmond Motorsports Marketing, Darren Redmond.
Starting 21st tonight, the L&R Transmissions Tobacco Ridge, number 9, it's Kyle Southern, and to the outside, the Market USA, number 77, it's the lovely Susan Harwell.
Starting in 23rd, that second car that Mike Speeney said he was going to bring, it's here. It's piloted tonight by Dan Speeney in the 0. Connor Branch out of Louisville, North Carolina, racing the number 7 for Camdall Construction, starts 24th. And the final car in this field, starting 25th, in the number 99 Machine out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, racing for Williams Trucking, it's Crab Smith.
Folks, 600 horsepower. 25 drivers testing the brakes one last time, revving the engines, scrubbing the tires. Drama unfolding all week on social media, but now the BS stops. These are the drivers that live by the grace of God, and 600 horsepower twin 25s of the modifieds are green.
Stack up a bit at the front there.
I don't know. That was a pretty... the leader went first. The leader went first. That was a tough one to call back. Here we go. We're going to re-rack them, restack them. Lee Jeffries on the inside. Burt Myers on the outside. Coming to the green flag. Who will fire first? The leader fires first. Jeffries to the loud pedal, side by side, dancing to the south turn.
So Lee Jeffries will try and keep Burt Myers pinned on that outside line. Jason Myers looking for a spot there, but he'll tuck in line behind his brother. Chris Fleming trying to work that high lane as well. Brandon Ward up top alongside Mike Speedy. Junior Snow, Tim Brown, a lot of fast cars. Starting off in the top 10 is Speedy. Gets contact there. I think that might have been Tim Brown that got into him. And more trouble further in the back. One car in the fence. Couldn't tell immediately
Dan
who.
Speedy.
Is it Dan Speedy?
Dan
Yes,
Speedy
it is.
hard into the outside wall to the right there. There you see it, that number 10 stuffed in the wall with the orange bumper. My gosh, he hit that thing hard.
So the Speedies end up in trouble here
Whoa.
on the second lap of 25 in the opening race.
There is Darren Redmond's number 8 car, but coming in late and from the top rope, and he couldn't get that number 10 slowed down at all, and he made severe contact to the outside wall. And not to mention that orange bumper does look okay, though. That orange bumper, I think a little bit of the mind games going on between the Speedies and the Myers, because Burt Myers famous for that orange bumper.
The orange bumper is okay.
I'm glad that Dan's getting out of this thing, because I'm telling you what, he hit a ton there. And this wall, it's not a soft wall, okay? It is a safer barrier. And you see right now he's struggling a little bit. Hate to see that for the Pennsylvania driver. A severe lick to the turn 1 wall.
A lot of damage to the right front suspension in particular. Got a good look at it off of the wonderful camera of Elgin Trailer, and you could see all sorts of spindle damage and arm damage and lots of work that's going to need to be done on that machine to get it back out on the racetrack for the next feature, if at all, tonight.
All right, I think we have a replay of this one, and I can't wait to see it. I mean, I don't know really what transpired. It looked like Dan Speedy in the wall late, but Mike Speedy, it was a Speedy incident, got tagged maybe by Tim Brown. You see the orange car there, watch it. Speedy gets hemmed up there. Oh no, he doesn't get tagged at all. The number 10 car got hemmed up by the 4 and got into it just a little bit, maybe with Junior Snow's car, and racing incident there. And off to the right of that incident was where the major impact to the wall was for Speedy.
Yeah, no, I think biggest point there, Tim Brown did not get into him at all. There was contact, I think, a little bit with Junior Snow, but I think Mike was already starting to go around when he made contact with Junior Snow. So
let's take a quick break on Flow Racing. We'll be back with the rest of this one. We are back at the Madhouse, Bowman Gray Stadium tonight. The Colors Edge 100 for the Sportsman, but a pair of 25 lappers for the NASCAR Brad's Golf Cars Modified Division. And already 2 laps into this one, we saw Mike Speedy go for a spin. His brother and Darren Redmond hard into the outside wall. 25 lappers, single file restarts.
Dan Speedy's car is off the racetrack. Darren Redmond continues to circulate around. He and Mike Speedy are going to restart towards the back of this, and Lee Jeffries will have the honor of leading our field back to green in this first of the twin 25 lappers for the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds. Off we go once again. Good jump there for Jeffries, who will clear Burt Myers by a car length, at least initially, but Myers will start to reel him back in. Everybody already single file here, so this is going to be who's got the speed and who wants to press the issue early on in this race. But for now, everybody following the Lee Jeffries parade. But there's the first shot from the bumper of Burt Myers in this 25 lap.
It'll be interesting because Chris Fleming has been one of the, caution in turn 2. Riley Neal, the real deal, and young Connor Branch, a graduate this year from the Sportsman ranks.
So Connor Branch stuck. Riley Neal there as well. Darren Redmond had to fishtail to avoid this.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether or not there is fluid down in that part of the racetrack, but he did slide sideways. Lost grip a little bit there. So track crew will look at that and make sure that everything over in the south turn is okay. And once they have the opportunity to refire Connor Branch's machine, they'll get everybody lined up for a restart that shall come on lap 5 of 25. We have not completed a lot of this first Twin 25 lap feature for the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Series.
There is the driver of the number 75, Lee Jeffries, a 29-time winner. Hoping to get that milestone tonight. The 30th win, of course, his father, Robert Jeffries, someone who, man, I really miss him. You know, we lost him a few years back to cancer. And Robert was just one of those old-school, charming gentleman types. Didn't really speak much, but was always so kind in the pit area, and it was one hell of a racer. And Apple didn't fall far from the tree for the driver of that number 75. His son, now a veteran himself, the Market USA Brad's Golf Cars number 75 modified.
And if he wins tonight, it would put him within one win in this division of the great Alfred Hill, one of the very best to ever race at Bowman Gray Stadium, and it would put him 3 wins behind Robert.
You know who's usually at Lee Jeffries' trailer every week? Alfred Hill. Alfred Hill's daughter, Susan Harwell. Well, now a little bumper tag coming to the green. Jeffries, Myers, Fleming, Myers.
4 names we've heard at the stadium a lot throughout the years as Lee Jeffries tries to create some form of gap. Running a little bit higher in the middle of the corner and got a little bit looser than I think he would have liked last time by out of the north turn. But for now, keeping Burt Myers at bay.
Of note, your points leader, Brandon Ward, sits in 5th. Junior Snow in 6th in his pink number 51. In 7th, Tim Brown, the 83, the Rocket. In 8th would be John Holloman. 9th, Bobby Meismer. And 10th will be White Lightning, that beautiful car.
I think the biggest thing to watch for a few things here. 1, the leaders are starting to catch up on lap traffic. 2, will Burt force the issue on Lee, or will someone force the issue behind Burt? And 3, Mike Speeney is the next car the leaders are going to catch.
Mike Speeney is going awful slow right now.
So everybody keeping eyes here as they start to close in on Speeney. Potentially put Speeney a lap down. Lee Jeffries is going to work his way. Is he going to go outside? He's going to go outside, so he'll go outside, and now here comes Burt Myers.
Speeney, will he be playing the jam car here? Not much speed out of Speeney. Now Speeney goes to the gas a little more. Little hesitation by Burt Myers to the outside. He rockets it. Speeney blocks him. Speeney blocks him. He comes to a stop. The fans are on their feet. Trouble here at the Madhouse. Speeney has had enough. He slows down in front of Burt Myers. He didn't wreck him, but he slowed down and brought him to a stop. The crowd is on their feet here as the Madhouse has gone mad once again.
There is not a single person on this side of Bowman Gray Stadium that is using their seat right now. Everybody trying to lean over the railing to see what sort of confrontation will ensue between Mike Speeney and Burt Myers as we have yet another chapter in this.
Bobby Meismer is getting out of his car. Like Babe Ruth, he called his shot, Mike Speeney did. And he sought out revenge on Burt Myers. Myers now trying to right the ship and get that Pinnacle Financial number 1 going again. He has to do an 8-point turn to get it done. Speeney parked his car in front of him under green flag conditions. Bobby Meismer, Skip Flores, innocent victims in that. Let's see the damage on Myers' car. Doesn't look like any. He'll be able to continue. Wow.
Keeping an eye here on Mike Speeney's car as well, and the reactions here.
Oh, the fans.
So damage to the Nerf bar for sure. Damage to the intake for sure. But the wheels actually look largely, okay, not perfect. He definitely took a shot to the left front, but Here's a good look at some of the fans
Oh,
here.
they are not happy.
The front stretch in particular, I'm looking here at the first row, and it's either...
As Spini passes by, we're looking at the backstretch, but as Spini passes by, they are all leaning over, and they are cheering, jeering. Some have even gone classless and thrown water bottles out from the crowd. He is getting the Bronx cheer from this raucous stadium crowd.
Cheers and jeers.
Wow.
Cheers and cheers. Somebody's looking up at the tower like they want to go fight on either Spini or Myers' behalf. I'm not sure which side this person's
fans
on.
are even arguing with each other. You realize that half the people here are for Myers, the other half are for everybody else. And that's what you get here at Bowman Gray Stadium. You have storylines, bloodlines, passion. It is all over the place here. It's a hot day at the Madhouse. Tempers even hotter.
Keeping an eye here on all sorts of things happening at the Madhouse. Another Saturday night at the famed quarter mile. As they continue to push Mike Spini's car around.
Wow, the plot thickens. We talked about it, and sometimes when you talk about it, nothing happens. Sometimes when I've seen historically a competitor here bring out a second or third car, it's just kind of one of those things where it's mind games. Spini told me today, I'm not going to do anything. But if the number one comes across my bumper, don't think I won't do something. He didn't go out there and run across the grass. He said even to me this morning, I'm not going to do anything really to make the stadium look bad. I'm not going to run across the football field and T-bone him. But if I have a chance to exact my revenge, he might. And he called his shot. Let's just, the bad thing is the innocent victims of this. And let's just call that out, because no matter what side of the fence you're on of this debate, Myers versus Spini, you see Farmer Ted right there, Racing Electronics suit. Z-Max on board that 41. He hasn't been here. He just got the motor refreshed. It had an oil leak. Had that put back in the car this week. He was hoping for 2 good runs tonight. And because of that, he gets knocked out of this race, and that's not fair to him. Neither is it fair to Skip Flores in 79.
Who also had to take a tow and is getting his car serviced and is going to be done for at least this first race. Now, there are those drivers in that bunch that you just mentioned that got affected. The other driver who gets affected on this, and we haven't had the chance to bring up this side of Spini versus Burt Myers, but the person who stands to gain the most out of this, Brandon Ward, more than anything else, because now you've got Burt buried in the back of the field, and Brandon Ward is going to be restarting inside the top 5. So Ward's already got a 36-point lead coming into tonight. That stands to grow even more.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you're exactly right. I think that's the point we were trying to make in the pre-race. Okay, we discussed this because we discuss what we're going to do. We're prepared always. The story was Spini and Myers. But now the story shifts, to your point, to Brandon Ward, who has an easier path possibly to this championship now because of this. People like to talk about this place. Good, bad, and ugly. Sometimes they call it wrestling on wheels. Sometimes they call it a circus. Okay? It's not scripted. That's real, what you just saw there. That is a driver that is that unhappy with another competitor that he's willing to do what it takes. Right or wrong. Good point there, too, from Justin Mincy. It also helps out that orange car at the bottom of your screen there. You see KevinSaysYes.com on the back of the TV panel. That is Brandon Ward, your points leader. The Suzuki Q104.1 car for Kevin Powell Speed Motorsports. And he's loving this. He's licking his chops. But so is Tim Brown, 2 spots behind him.
Tim Brown came into this evening at 30 points back of Burt Myers for second in the modified standings. And he, too, could gain a little bit on the ace should Burt struggle to get back up through the field. However, we still have 15 laps left to go in this first of 2 features this evening for the Brad's Golf Cars Modified Series. So there are all the permutations and combinations that you can look at with this race, and then there's the knock-on effect of, well, if you've got damage to your car, if you have to make some repairs in between this and the second feature, how does your car handle? How is it affected when we get to that second race? And what sort of points may you pick up or not pick up as a result of what happens here? galaxy brain type thinking here. It's like that scene is in A Beautiful Mind, I think, where they have the math scene with Russell Crowe, and he's looking at all the digits and the numbers, trying to figure out everything. That's about how I feel up here. Not that I'm anywhere near as intelligent, certainly far from it, but
you know, gosh, I mean, do we catch our breath?
I
Moments like that happen at the Madhouse. Not always. People that are the keyboard warriors may, or the so-called journalists that like to pick on this place will throw barbs. That doesn't happen all the time. But, the whole pit area was talking about it. Mike Spini said he's going to have to live that nightmare for the rest of the season of what happened last week. And boy, oh boy, did it just happen at Bowman Gray Stadium. Lights are out on the pace car, buddy.
Mike Spini off the racetrack. Steve Flores, Farmer Ted, also off the racetrack. And now the attention shifts back to the front, where it's Lee Jeffries who will lead us back to green on lap 10 of 25, and the showstopper, Chris Fleming, winner of the Cookout Madhouse Classic in February on Clash Weekend, who's going to try and go back to Carolina Wood Floors victory lane once again. He will have the opportunity to press the issue. And for all the people that were just sort of waiting behind Bert and Mike, this is your opportunity to force the issue on the leader if you so choose.
Burt Myers marred back in 16th position now. Burt Myers, after the incident, now moving into the 15th spot. The bleeding continues for Myers as the points leader sits in 4th place right now, and he is 15th. There he is, the Citrus Safe number 1. How much rebound can he make up through this field? Halfway in this 25-lapper. And trouble here with the lap car of Redmond getting in the way, playing jam car. And the 6 car as well of Slate Myers being a lap down. Jeffries still leads this one.
Jeffries has been able to get Chris Fleming, that car, that 75 machine, a better long-run car than what Chris Fleming has at the moment as they work their way around the lap traffic. Jason Myers, 3rd, Brandon Ward 4th. Junior Snow with a good run. Got the win earlier this year,
yes.
But a top 5 for Junior Snow, who I think will take that just as a more consistent run and a better reflection of what that program can bring week in, week out, where when they have things just be neutral, not even go their way, but just not get in their way. They've shown speed all year long.
Yeah, that's a tight-knit group. The driver of the pink and black number 51, that's in the 5th position right now, Junior Snow. That's a family-run team. His dad is the crew chief, turns the wrenches on that car. And his uncle works on the car as well, Junior Snow's pink and black number 51. And, former baseball player. There he is. Junior Snow's car, the Wagner Appliances number 51. These twin 25s, you kind of want to, it's one thing when you win and you might get a 12 on the draw for the second one. That's that sweet spot right there, around, 5th or so.
It just depends. It could be a short draw, it could be a long draw. We'll find out when the winner pulls that number at Carolina Wood Floors victory lane. But as it stands, 5 laps to go for Lee Jeffries, and all of a sudden, Chris Fleming is starting to reel in the race leader. So maybe Fleming was saving something for the very end. He's starting to show it now.
Fleming's car has woken up. The Taylor Auto Parts number 16 Surrey Chemicals machine has reeled in halfway of that distance that he was once behind 3 laps ago. Jeffries still now coming to 3 to go with a healthy lead, but for how long?
Not really any lap traffic in the way of Lee Jeffries, just Slate Myers, who would be in the way if they catch it, and are not convinced that Lee Jeffries is going to be able to get to him. So largely clear racetrack for what could be a handful of laps left. The only thing that would really shuffle this picture up a lot is if we end up with the call 811 before you dig caution, and Burt Myers is still buried pretty deep in this field.
15th right now, trying to get around Andy Probst, but everybody is looking as the white flag comes out for Lee Jeffries.
Lee Jeffries still with clear track. Chris Fleming, who's got multiple car lengths to make up. He'd have to have the send of the century to make it up and won't have the time to do it. Lee Jeffries will bring it back around and claim victory tonight in the first of the Twin 20 ties for the Brad's Golf Cards Modified Series at Bowman Gray Stadium. It's his 30th career win, and he ties Jonathan Brown Tim Dwiggins, Dale Ward, and Bill Wilder for 32nd on the all-time win list here at the Madhouse.
Second place, Chris Fleming. Third place, Jason Myers. Fourth place, Brandon Ward. Fifth place, Junior Snow. Sixth place, Tim Brown. Seventh for Holloman. Burt Myers, 15th. Myers, second place in points, will be scored unofficially 15th. But the driver holding the checkered flag for a 30th time, this veteran driver has become one of the greats here at Bowman Gray Stadium in front of our eyes. Generational talent, of course, Robert Jeffries looking down proud upon Lee as he grips that flag for the 30th time of his great career.
Just a really clean, composed race from Lee Jeffries, which when we see Lee up here and he gets the track position, that's usually what happens. He doesn't beat himself, and that seems so obvious, but to be consistent when you've got the pressure that he did coming from second, from third, hard to do. But at this point, let's go down trackside to Randy Pulliam, who will interview Lee Jeffries, our winner in the Modifieds.
That's his 30th career modified win for Lee. But first off, before we talk to him, we've got some business to take care of. Courtesy of Elite Underground Utility, Madhouse Scramble Redraw, Chief Flagman Randy Smith has a drawstring bag. Inside that drawstring bag are chips with the numbers 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. He'll draw one of those chips. The number he draws determines where Lee starts the second 25-lapper and how the field is inverted. Lee reaching into that bag right now. Keep your eyes on the scoreboard. Lee Jeffries climbing out of the cockpit, victorious. Lee draws number 8. Lee, we talked to you during pre-race. Great qualifying lap. That's where you wanted to start. Picked up the second win of the season. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all these people for coming out tonight, as hot as it is, 'cause I know that's tough. I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Phoenix Packaging, Skinner Warehousing, Wahlberg Grill and Pizzeria. I know Troy is down there probably having a party right now. Security Partners, Brad's Golf Cars, Gordon's Radiator, Market USA. Without all these people, we couldn't get it done. And all these guys here working on the car.
Lee, that's career win number 30 for you. You are now 14th all alone on the all-time winners list here at the stadium.
Well, I guess I've been lucky for a while, so that's good.
Lee Jeffries, ladies and gentlemen, is going to make his way over to the Carolina Wood Floors Winner's Circle to pick up a winner's trophy. Carolina Wood Floors, open your doors to beautiful floors at Carolina Wood Floors. Lee and his crew will also take home 4 of those.
Lee Jeffries, 30th career win. We'll come back with the Sportsman Colors Edge 100.
Are you ready for the Colors Edge Sportsman 100? Here is how they'll roll off. 20 cars in the starting field. They qualified for their starting positions. The top 6 had a redraw. Rolling off 20th. He's into Port City. Chris Massey Family and Friends Chevrolet out of Powtown, the number 37 of Chris Massey. Rolling off 19th. Into Wool Donuts, Clifton Plumbing, Chevy SS from Walnut Cove, the number 88 of Chris Taylor. Rolling off 18th. Into Jerry Hunt Supercenter, East Coast Wings, Chevy Camaro. Driving the number 23 tonight is Justin Hoyle. Starting 17th in the Davis Performance Cars, the number 63 of Terry Smith. Starting 16th in the Brake Buddies, Edwards & Sons Heavy Equipment Rental LLC Chevrolet out of Winston-Salem, the number 8 of Kyler Kepley. Rolling off 15th in the Howe Racing Machine, Benchmark Abrasives, Avery's Tavern Car from Mooresville, the number 24 of A.J. Burness. Rolling off 14th in the Carolina Cowboys, Shitty Coolers Chevrolet from Lexington, the number 15 of T. Dawson.
the squeaky clean express, and ready-mix concrete. Hot rod from Rosedale, the number 0 of Kirk Sheets. Starting 12 in the old Lexington Clean Shop. Car from Lexington, the car number 14, driven tonight by Billy Gregg. Running off 11th in the ever ready-mix concrete. TJ Photography, Gale Force Dodge out of Yadkinville, the number 19 of Michael Adams. And now your top 10. In the Auto Supply Company.
Welcome back to NASCAR Advance Auto Parts Weekly Series coverage of Bowman Gray Stadium. From Winston-Salem, North Carolina, I'm your host, Matthew Dillner, joined by James Pike. And the Sportsman 100 is next. But boy, oh boy, it's been a war between the two top points guys, Chase Robertson and Zach Orr. Oh, here it was, the big one happening on the final lap. They get together, the 31 of Robertson, the 55 of Orr, opening up the seas for Mitch Gales to get his big win this season. Week after week, these two have been battling. And then the war of words behind the field house. No fighting, just some words. It's okay. These are passionate race car drivers that want to win each and every week. They've gotten so physical with each other, but nobody has been egregious in dumping the other. Tonight, they start side by side on the second row. Let's give you the starting lineup for tonight's Sportsman 100, presented by Colors Edge. Starting on the pole in the number 28, Old Greg's Lexington Frame Shop machine, it's Nate Gregg. To the outside, Donkey Strong in the Serve Pro 12. It's Justin Taylor.
Starting in the third position, the number 55 machine out of Lexington, North Carolina, the Graphic Unlimited car piloted by Zach Orr. To his outside, the points leader in 2023 champion of this division out of Walburg, North Carolina, and the Davidson Steel number 31 is Chase Robertson.
Starting next row to the inside, the last winner of the Sportsman 100, the Clifton Plumbing, number 81 for Zach Clifton. To the outside, the Harkey Litigation Machine, the 55-time winner, the Tiger, Tommy Neal.
Starting in seventh, he's got multiple wins in this division this year in the number 77 machine out of Walburg, North Carolina, racing for Blakely Landscape Service. It's Dylan Ward, and starting to his outside in the 03 out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, rolling off from the 8th position, it's the Rockstar racing for Goats RV Repair. It's Sterling Clemens.
The Louis Custom Showers, number 11 for Chase Lewis, is next in row 5. And in the outside, it is the Auto Supply of Thomasville, 38 for Mitch Gales, the good guy.
Starting in 11th, the number 19 machine out of Yadkinville, North Carolina, racing for Gale Force. It's Michael Adams. And to his outside, rolling off from the 12th position in the number 14 machine. It's one of the most famous families. It's the Show. Billy Gregg racing for Sykes Roofing.
The Zero Hero starts next. Last minute Larry, they call him, but tonight we'll call him Kirk Sheets. To the outside, the Shitty Coolers, number 15, it's T. Dawson.
Starting in the 15th position, the number 24 machine out of Oswego, New York, racing for Avery's Tavern, it's the Furnace, A.J. Burness. And starting to his outside, rolling off from the 16th spot, it's the Dog. Out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, racing for Kepley Motorsports, it's Kyler Kepley.
The 63 of Terry Smith starts next. Justin Hoyle making his debut in the Robertson 23. After that, Chris Taylor in the Little Donuts 88. Speaking of Little Donuts, they just arrived. Cinnamon, sugar, and powder. And the big guy, Chris Massey, in the number 37, brings out the rear of the field. Massey in that white car. Izzy Babe 86 is sponsor. Oh, there's the car. The car is on the track, and it's on top of the Little Donut Shack.
Double vision, right? Something like that. Double donuts, I suppose. We've got two pairs of donuts here. We've got, like I said, cinnamon sugar, powdered sugar, fabulousness.
Oh, that is awesome. We went early to the Little Donuts here.
Here's our trivia nugget of the evening from one Justin Mincy. On this weekend, 40 years ago, July 20th, 1985, Jimmy Johnson, with a Y, not an IE, won his first and only 100-lapper in the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Series. How about that?
And we talked about the great Jimmy Johnson a lot here. 98-time Sportsman winner. Hard to believe he only won one 100-lapper. But Jimmy Johnson, one of the all-time greats at Bowman Gray Stadium.
One of the absolute best here at the Madhouse as we get set for 100 laps of action in front of a packed house here. They have come out in force as we start working our way towards the championship chase, and I think we're going to see a lot as lights will go off the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle. Jimmy Absher will pull that car off the racetrack, and we will be set for the green flag of the Colors Edge 100 here for the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Division at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Let's set the table for you tonight. 100 laps for the Sportsman cars, the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Division. Double file choose cone restarts as the, this is going to be an entertaining one for everybody here in attendance. The modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle pulls off into the end zone. 2 by 2 they go. 20 cars strong. The Sportsman 100, Colors Edge 100 has begun.
Off they go, up right to the front. We've got all sorts of action for the third spot, though. Immediately, Zach Orr and Chase Robertson, wheel to wheel, fighting for track position. And I think they've tried to keep off of each other as much as they can. But here's the cold, hard reality, Matthew. You can only run alongside somebody so much before you end up in trouble.
Oh, donuts! Donuts! Don't fire it up, Facebook. It's because the 88 donut car is doing donuts on the front straightaway. Yellow flag is out for Chris Taylor.
Whether or not he
Justin
got help.
Mincy just went to the cinnamon sugar, buddy.
Right. Whether or not he got help or whether or not he went around on his own, I'm not sure. But Chris Taylor brings out our first call, 811.
Slipped
before
in the
you
icing.
You said it, not me. You said it. So, while Dillon
I think
West,
I inhaled some powder there. That would be powdered sugar on donuts. Oh, Lord. It's off the rails. Sorry, S&R Motor Company. I know Puddin'. Hey, shout out tonight to Puddin' Swisher. Modified great, and somebody that I love very much, and a lot of us do. He and his guys are watching here at S&R Motor Company as they do every week, live on Flow Racing. The cone is out. Greg chooses the inside. So does Taylor. First 3 cars go to the bottom. That opens up the door for the outside move by Chase Robertson.
So this being a longer race for the Sportsman Division, they do have the restart cone. For those who are unfamiliar with the restart cone, they'll bring it out when we get to 2 laps to go before each restart, and drivers will have the opportunity to pick either the inside or the outside lane to restart this race, unless they were involved in the caution that just flew.
Here we go. Double file and make him smile, as Ben Dodge always said in the New England area on the microphone. And tonight that tradition continues at a little quarter-mile bull ring in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. About 12 to 13,000 fans treated right now to Chase Robertson making a valiant charge on the outside. Young Nate Gregg to the inside. Robertson to the lead the hard way.
What kind of speed in that Jerry Hunt Super Center machine to roll the high line
Wow,
and make
and
it work?
of that,
yeah, you tell him.
Oh my God, Zach, where does he come from? Zach Clifton, the winner of the last 100. He's motoring around 2 cars on the outside. My gosh.
Big time motor there from Clifton as well. Look at Donkey Strong. Justin Taylor might go to the high line. I almost wonder if the high line's where you want to be right now. Just with the way these drivers are getting runs on corner exit, certainly a thought to ponder early on in this 100-lapper.
It looks like the 28 of Nate Gregg having a little hard time. Last week's first Win 20 winner in the Sportsman Division. Now he files in third. We'll likely have our lull at some point in this one. 100 laps, the longest races of the year for this division. Donkey Strong, Justin Taylor all over the backside of Gregg's number 28.
That is your best battle on the racetrack right now by a good margin as Taylor continues to work and try and find a way to the inside of Gregg. A little opportunity there coming out of the south turn, turn 2.
Oh, that is a great battle. Look at that. That's respect right there. People say, oh, just a bunch of people hitting each other at Bowman Gray. Yeah, they're hitting each other. They're moving each other, but they're doing it respectfully. They're creating room for their race car without wrecking somebody.
And we've come back to this point a lot this year. Worth repeating again, especially while we're in a green flag racing. I don't know if there are a lot of other places where the sort of bump and run would be acceptable to a lot of drivers, but here that's part of the nature of racing, and where the line is of what is and isn't acceptable, it's different here, and a lot of these drivers are okay if you have to get into somebody because it's tough to pass, and you've got no banking to lean into in the middle of the corner, so you got to do something, and a lot of people here, they're not afraid to get up, elbows on the wheel, and be physical if they needed to get some track position.
Oh, man, the battle is on back there. Justin Taylor gets the spot. Now the battle is also on for the lead. Robertson hanging on to it with Zach Clifton, the winner of the last Sportsman 100, hot on his tail. Zach Orr further back is working on Nate Gregg. Great battles. Now yellow flag is out. It looks like Chase Lewis is slowed on the backstretch, and Chris Taylor goes around for another little donut.
And somebody else slow over in that
Chase
ballpark
Lewis.
as well.
Chase Lewis right there, number 11.
Third car, too, I thought.
Oh, Louise got, like, how many paint schemes has Chase Lewis had this year?
A lot of them.
That's a good trivia question.
I also couldn't tell. That was what was tripping me up. I couldn't tell if Chris Massey just checked up to avoid that.
Stopped, yeah. He's going to the pits, though, Massey.
Right. So Taylor with a little bit of damage.
He's going to get a Pepsi.
A little bit of damage to the rear end of Taylor's machine. A lot of damage to the left front suspension of Lewis's machine. That was sparking pretty much all the way down the back straightaway right as the call 811 before you did caution was being thrown. So they're going to pull the hood up and get that car on the wrecker and have, I guess, Big Red finish off the trip back to the work area for Chase Lewis.
Well, there is Taylor's number 88 machine. I think it's a perfect time to maybe take a little 30-second minute break here on Flow Racing. We'll come back with the rest of the Sportsman 100 on Flow Racing.
Welcome back to coverage of the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series live from historic Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, live on Flow Racing. James Pike, Matthew Dillner here bringing you all the action from the Colors Edge 100, the final 100-lap race of the season for the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Series. We're under our, I believe, second call 811? Second call 811 before you did caution here on lap 17.
17 laps into this one, so, we haven't hit that low point, I think, yet. These are the long extra-distance races, and for Chase Robertson, he's got to love this. He is your points leader of this division.
Robertson leads the points, leads the race. Zach Clifton was hounding him properly right before we got that yellow. He was the only car really in the same zip code. And I'm not certain whether or not that's a measure of just how quick those two cars are or whether or not there are some other people a little bit further back who are waiting for their opportunity and their moment to make a move. I think that's also definitely something we need to consider as we take a look at the top 5 in points this evening in the Sportsman division.
And Chase Robertson's massive 66-point lead is the largest points gap in Sportsman division racing since 2018 when Kevin Neal, Riley Neal's dad, won the division championship by 77 points. Okay, this is a division that's super uber competitive. So don't be alarmed by that 66-point lead. That's just a display of absolute dominance. It's not a dogging on this division. This is just an incredible run that Chase Robertson has had. They have chosen the cone. Zach Clifton is the first to the top. Right behind him, though, Zach Orr. This should be a good one.
Robertson and Clifton ready to go. Oh, Justin
Taylor doesn't go.
Justin Taylor does not go. He's going to get spun into the grass. Is that going to bring out our third? Call 811 before you dig caution. Yes, it will, before the field even gets halfway down the back straightaway.
It looked like Pike, I don't know if you saw it, it looked like he didn't get it into gear.
He was
when you hit the gas pedal and then you throw back to the next gear, it looks like that just didn't happen.
He was struggling to get going on the restart there. That car would not fire the same way that everyone else's did. And eventually, if you miss a shift like that here, you just can't get it in gear. You are going to get spun to the infield like that. If nothing else, to get you out of the way and make sure that there's not a huge issue of some form. So, lights still here. Caution still up.
Taylor looks like he's going to go to the pit area.
Which would be big for Taylor if he does. He was in the top 5 when that happened.
There's the replay.
It just refuses to go. It just at some point, if you're Greg, there's only so much you can do, right?
You can't, because if you hop on the brakes there, you're getting run over. You're just hoping he grabs that gear and goes. So no fault there to Greg.
Meanwhile, Taylor is trying to, I believe, contest that he should maintain his position.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Normally, the rule
Caution
here
comes out, you go to the rear.
Right. If you're involved in the yellow and you come to a stop, and he did come to a stop in the infield, then you end up going to the rear. So,
hey, I want to do a big shout out tonight. We usually don't do this except for when we get a great stat from him. But a true blessing in the booth for us is Justin Mincy, who's also throwing us up the fact that the parachute jump is coming up soon. But Justin Mincy, we've got Stat Boy Elgin Trailer on camera, that camera that you're seeing right now, our great cameraman, Elgin Trailer, who's a statistician and historian himself. But Justin Mincy in the booth here does so much for Bowman Gray Racing. We're blessed to have Justin Mincy as a historian, but also a brother.
As the tune cone comes out, we've got 2 amongst our team. I have a fun little game that I'll let the world in with. You can go up to Elgin Trailer, and I like to do this a lot here. You can name any year between, about 1960-ish ballpark and now, and just name the number. Elgin will tell you who won the Snowball Derby that year, which you can also see later this year in December, live and exclusively on Flow Racing.
Good plug.
As we go back to Green Flag Racing here in the Keller's Edge 100. Good jump there for Robertson. Clifton get a hang on the outside. Look who's in 3rd. Zach Orr. Look who's in 4th. Tommy Neal. How about Dylan Ward also in 5th? Sterling Plemons. You've got some heavy hitters in the Sportsman Division running top 5 right now.
Clifton files in behind Chase Robertson in 2nd position. Good choose restart for the 55. Now here comes Clifton peeking down underneath the number 31. Can he clear the real estate? He does. Robertson with a strong run off of 4. The drivers go side by side into the south turn.
Clifton's got a really strong car in the bottom. I think if you're Chase Robertson, you have to be mindful of who's directly behind Clifton. If you continue this fight for much longer, you're not going to have a gap to get in behind, unless you just want to make sure you hang on to the lead no matter what. Clifton will give up the fight for just a little bit and then drive back to the inside. But how hard do you really want to press this issue on that 27 if you're Chase Robertson? That's a big question for his team and for the other team in the top 5 too.
God, as his car wrapped the bottom well in contact as Robertson goes down to the bottom to try to close the gap, close the hole on Zach Orr. They get together again.
Created a hole for himself. That's let's call that what that is. If you're Zach Orr, I have to imagine you're not happy with the way that Robertson cleared himself. It's a break that he would give now, but if we fast forwarded about 50 laps later in this race, I'm not convinced that Zach Orr would cut him the same kind of break.
We've seen these drivers fight tooth and nail for every inch on this quarter-mile racetrack. doing it respectfully. There's been a little bit of words between them, a little bit of words between their teams, but on the racetrack, they've done it in a way that most race fans could look at respectfully and proud of the war between Robertson and Orr.
Oh, you made that rhyme. That worked out well.
I did?
Yeah.
I'm a poet, and I know it. My feet show it.
War and Orr, right?
Oh, War and Orr. Yeah, that does kind of rhyme. Rob Blount doesn't think I rhyme well with slow racing, but hey, guess what? I'm a lyrical gangster.
Ooh. Living in paradise, right?
Word up.
Something to that effect.
Excuse me, Mr. Officer.
Right. So Zach Clifton's got lead in this race.
We'll bring ourselves back to earth here on lap 33 of 100. Clifton, your leader, then Robertson, then Orr, Tommy Neal, and Sterling Clements. Finishing off the top 5, and then Dylan Ward, Nate Gregg. Justin Taylor's rebounded nicely from that incident where couldn't get the car going toward the grass. He's made his way back up to the top 10, too. So good run there for Justin Taylor. And then the zero hero, Kirk Sheets there. Michael Adams in tow.
8th for Justin Taylor. Donkey Strong, you see the 03 right there of Sterling Clemens, the rock star. We call him the rock star because he was in the Bad Mondays in London. He's a little factoid that we learned about him, and it's great to see him running so well and getting that win last week. Hey, I think we have a special guest that just joined us in the booth. Folks here at Bowman Gray Stadium know this driver because she's won 3 Sportsman 100 races, and it's Amber Lynn. Amber Lynn, you've been absent from competition here in the law offices of John Barrow Sportsman Division, but you have some news for us?
I do. So I went to the neurologist a few weeks ago, and I got the go-ahead to come on back next week and join the fun.
Really?
Yeah.
So Amber Lynn, you're returning to racing at the Madhouse?
I will be back next week for the Twin 20s. I'm super excited. I've missed all my fans. I've missed the excitement and of being here, so I'm super excited to come back and race.
So for the fans watching the Sportsman 100 here, 61 laps to go, and your leader is Zach Clifton. For the fans watching this, they heard you say neurologist. Can you explain what took you out of the seat this year?
So I went in because I've been having headaches, and they saw that I had an arachnoid cyst on the back of my brain. They said it's trauma-induced. It will go away on its own, but I don't need to hit my head or anything anymore. So went back, and she gave me the go-ahead. She put the order for the MRI in. If I hit my head, I just call and schedule.
Oh, that is great. That's great news. So in other words, you're feeling a lot better. That's the main thing here, right, Amber?
Yeah, I feel 10 times better. I, really buckled down on my health this past year.
Okay.
So I feel the best I've ever felt, and I'm excited to get back in the car.
Has it been tough for you to know that you're the most winningest female in the history of Bowman Gray Stadium, watching from the sidelines? That's got to be tough.
Sidelines, kind of. I've been in the pits with Kirk Sheets and Jordan Adkins, and now Jordan Adkins is unfortunately out for the year. But I've been involved pretty much every single week, and I've missed driving, but I was happy to just be involved.
It's great to see you out here, and Amber Lynn. And what are you looking forward to most out there? Because you've had some contention out here before, but you've had so many moments here, especially. I mean, that last win here, a very iconic win for you, that 100 lapper.
I'm most looking forward to my fans again. I've missed all my fans. I know they've missed me. It's been hard being as successful here as I am and then having to abruptly stop like I did.
Yes.
So I'm excited to come back. I feel like I have a clean slate. I'm excited to just run hard, and hopefully we can pull out a win.
Well, this win here, June 8th, your last win here, you can see you holding off Zach Orr. This division is full of a lot of incredible racers. Explain to the fans how absolutely wildly competitive it is.
It is competitive. I mean, you have really fast cars, and then if your car is not perfect, you're not going to do what you expect to do. So the competition is hard. And the racing is even harder. So there's a lot that goes on inside that cockpit during a race.
Well, Amber Lynn, we're proud to say that not only are you joining us in the booth, but I can't wait to call your next races here at the Madhouse. The fans here have missed you. You are one of the great competitors here and also one of the great personalities of all time here at Bowman Gray Stadium. So welcome back. We can't wait to have you back in the race car, and thanks for joining us in the booth.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Well, we are going yellow now. Last time you were in the booth, okay, you weren't, you weren't used to calling things.
No.
So, you'd never been in the booth before.
Oh, I don't want to now.
Yeah, no.
No.
You just came up here to see
Lord.
James Pike, didn't you? Just admit it.
Oh.
It wasn't to see Mincy and I, so we know that.
No, I have a running bet with Mincy that I'm taller than him. Stand up.
Yeah, you're definitely taller than Mincy.
I know.
Mincy's going to wear
I know.
heels right now, platforms.
He talks all that mess
He's
on
standing on his
Facebook.
chair. That's a bunch of BS. He's got the redneck samurai hair.
I'm down, honey. I'm taller. I'm a full foot taller.
Well, you'll be back here, of course, with your family-run team. Your dad turns the wrenches on those cars. It'll be great to see the whole family back here. Once again, thank you very much. And, folks, as we get James Pike back on the headset here, we'll take a look here at – you're wondering probably what the heck is going on. Why are the sportsman cars pulled over here? Well, that's because the track is lighting up because the jumpers are coming from the sky. James Pike, tell them what we're going to see here. Look at this place. This is awesome.
Once a year we get this. This is one of the neater things you see at Bowman Gray because it is relatively unique just within the span of the season. But we've got paratroopers coming in from five-figure amounts of feet in the sky. Not quite sure how high, but they are going to dive in and they are going to land right here on the infield at Bowman Gray, or I guess just the field at Bowman Gray. But lights are out. They've got a little target set up just outside of our picture here with the speed shot where the paratroopers are going to be shooting for. They're going to have a whole 100 yards of runway to work with, just like you'd see. You'd hope if you're a Winston-Salem State wide receiver, you'd have the opportunity to run all that way for a touchdown here. Paratroopers are going to try and find their way about where the end zone would be.
That'll be interesting to see. Right now, the drivers are out getting a little bottle of water, getting some relaxation in as we will await our first jumpers in the sky. I believe Justin Mincy, our spotter, is telling us they have jumped out of the airplane already. So this will be awesome. Some of these guys coming from Fort Bragg.
The finest out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, one of the largest Army installations on the East Coast, and the biggest economic driver in Fayetteville, without question. You say Fayetteville, North Carolina, people think Fort Bragg more than anything else. So, also, fun fact, have a great German restaurant there. Max and Moritz.
Really? I love German food.
Max and Moritz with one of the best.
How do you like your schnitzel?
I like my schnitzel any way you can cook it. Give it with gravy on top. Give it with lemon juice.
Yeah, a little lemon, a little simple schnitzel. I'm a Jaeger schnitzel guy.
Jaeger schnitzel.
Gravy.
Mushroom gravy and spätzle.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to say it real fancy. You are European.
Oh, my dad was born in my dad was born in Germany. He speaks fluent German, so I've heard it.
Yeah. Us commoners will just call it spätzle.
If you ever go over to Germany, the most important phrase you need to know
is
as we start seeing the paratroopers come in off the screen, it's "Es war nett, Sie kennen zu lernen," which translates to "It was very nice to meet you."
Wow.
Makes you
I never thought I'd hear that at Bowman Gray.
Never thought you'd hear German on a Bowman Gray broadcast, but here we are, right?
Well, we'd hear a German. But the Special Forces parachute team on the ground, you see the fire in the sky right now. But on the ground, there is a target where these gentlemen will land and enter the football field. And last year we saw some video of them diving in. And it's amazing because as the crowd builds, as it gets closer, those guys hear it. And I was talking to Bo, who's the leader of this group, and he said it's actually when you get around, what you would consider like 3 football fields above the stadium, the sound of the fans actually shakes you in the parachute, which I found rather impressive.
Also underscores how much these paratroopers are professionals and how I'm glad it's them making this jump and not me.
Have you jumped out of an airplane?
I have not jumped out of an airplane.
I really would like to. I'd like to. Oh, we got one coming in already. Look at this. First one lands in his target, red, white, and blue all day at the Madhouse. God bless America, Johnny Sauter. That is great.
Here
Of course,
comes the
he's greeted
second.
by Bo Kinnison.
Second one coming in there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, he almost went to the south to the east straightaway.
Looks like that's Army colors there.
Oh, here we go. From the beer garden is the next one. I think they threw him a Miller Lite. He didn't get it, though.
Black and red, not quite Marines colors, but
Yeah.
relatively close.
But a big round of applause, as that was an absolutely unbelievable job by them flying into the stadium, and we still have one more to go. Where will it come from? We know he will end up in the football field as the Sportsman drivers watch on here at the famed quarter mile. The stadium constructed in 1937.
All keeping our eyes in the skies above as these crews sit over in the north ring. Kind of the same way the cars were set up for the Clash before we started that race. Sort of lined up over in the corner by 1 and 2. Opposite end of the racetrack, but part of the drill here as these fans continue to look up and keep their eyes up.
Let's go to Randy Pulliam on the PA.
He's coming in now. Retired Sergeant First Class Greg Bevel. Race fans, they would like to close with the Special Forces motto, De Oppresso Liber, which means to free the oppressed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to our parachutists. We thank you for your service, and may God bless the United States of America.
All right, that was awesome. As the lights are out here at Bowman Gray Stadium, we were just treated to the Special Forces dropping in via parachute. The lights come back on. The drivers are being loaded into the race cars, and we'll take a quick break on Flow Racing. We're 44 laps into the Sportsman 100. What will happen next?
Retired Lieutenant Colonel Tony Aguiar, Staff Sergeant Bobby Wan, retired Sergeant First Class Greg Bevel, and retired Sergeant First Class Bo Kinnison. Thank you very much. Madhouse, they'll take just a moment to get the infield clear. And we'll go back racing. The Colors Edge Sportsman 100, 44 laps have been completed. At least 56 remain, maybe more than that if we go into overtime. And we got a race in the infield. On the inside, oh, he drops his radio. And that cost him. And we got a winner down there in the south turn. Yeah, it looks like you've got a yellow flag right over here, right before the entrance of turn number 1.
Choice Tire and Automotive is a full-service auto repair shop and your #1 source for tires and wheels in Kernersville, North Carolina. They offer a variety of automotive services to keep your vehicle rolling on the road and off. Choice Tire and Automotive offers check engine light repair and diagnostics, oil changes, brake repairs, alignments, balancing, rotations, and general automotive repairs. They bring the best quality service possible in everything they do, and their team is committed to providing the best workmanship and customer experience possible. Choice Tire and Automotive's hours are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Give Choice Tire and Automotive a call at 336-992-9002 and let them take care of your tire and automotive service needs.
Big thanks to Choice Tire and Automotive out of Kernersville, North Carolina for all they do for Bowman Gray Stadium and this broadcast on Flow Racing. Welcome back to the Madhouse. We just had skydiving jumpers, and we have 56 laps left in the Sportsman Colors Edge 100. Yeah, I mathed. But first, we have text messages from Marjorie. And folks, if you've never heard of this, this is a unofficial segment that's not approved by Flow Racing or NASCAR. But it is Pike's mom who likes to text us during the broadcast, and she saw the skydivers and said that, quote, this is Marjorie Pike, quote, sometimes I want to push you, that would be James Pike, out of an airplane.
Welcome to Bowman Gray, where your parents don't even have to be present on the property or on the broadcast, and you can still get roasted. So, you know.
Hey, Marjorie, I love you because I love roasting your son and picking on him. And you and I, we're a perfect pair. Speaking of perfection, look at that Koger Plumbing right there. Stop. Look at that Koger Plumbing tire wall. Why am I saying stop like the camera people can listen to me? What? We're off the rails. But the Koger Plumbing area, I did speak with Zach Koger, the street stock driver, and he's not happy with JB Jeff Bunton. JB Jeff Bunton's been calling that toilet corner because he thinks the tires, because they're round and painted white, look like toilets. And I'm here to tell you, as much as I love JB Cole, that is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. I thought maybe that's just me. Well, no, Zach Koger and his father told me today the same exact thing. That is no longer to be referred to as toilet corner. Better luck next time, JB. You're roasted now.
What about, like,
burn
the elbow or something, like, related to, like, pipe?
Pipe? Just pipe corner?
Right, something.
Yeah. Plumber corner, I mean, you could get clogged up in that corner. If you hit those tires, you're getting clogged up.
I keep thinking of the like internet game where the slime like traveled through like the piping, and you had to make sure that it all made it.
Super Mario goes through piping.
Well, yes, but not quite the same. But like you had to make sure that like it all connected, and then if you didn't connect it in time and the slime fell out of the pipes, then you lost.
I mean, that's a great safety feature here, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. We fans, help us out here. What can we name Koger Plumbing tire barrier corner thing?
Something to that area. Although,
is that an official name? Can we put that on a graphic? Koger Plumbing tire plumbing
we get
thing.
Something that's Hartford Turn-esque. So.
Oh, Chase Robertson's slow, but you know why? He's re-indexing his steering wheel to make sure the center mark is centered on the wheel. Common practice if you are indeed a race car driver.
These cars getting warmed back up.
There it is, the last 5 Hundies, baby. I like that. Is that slang enough for you? This graphic is lit.
Slinging the slang?
This graphic is lit. Fire, straight fire.
You're like a human version of that scheme that Harvick ran with all the millennial turns a few years ago.
Yeah, it's probably, no, absolutely not. I am the worst. Facebook will tell you that. Last 5 Hundies, that is the previous 5 Sportsman 100 winners. Chase Robertson, you know him. He's in second place right now. Amber Lynn, she was just up in the booth. But you see right there, Zach Clifton, your leader. So same old here on a Saturday night in Bowman Gray. But as the choose cone comes out, you never know what's going to happen here at the Madhouse.
Who restarts where? The field receives 2 to go. Who will be the first to jump to the outside? The answer to that question is Sterling Clemens. Or we'll go behind Robertson on the inside. Greg thought about it. Ward will do it. How about Kirk Sheets going high on this restart? Mitch Gales rolls up to the top side, waiting on anybody else. Michael Adams is going to go to the high line, and Tiger Tommy Neal up there too. A fun group on the outside that will take the restart here on lap 48, just about halfway in this Colors Edge 100.
Well, your Tiger Tommy Neal fans, Neal going behind the field house for services a little earlier. Now, coming to lap 48, we get back to green flag racing in the Sportsman division. Clifton first to fire. Here comes Dependry Holmes, number 03, to the bottom. Blocks off Chase Robertson in third. Side by side now for the 4th position. Dylan Ward on the outside, trying to make a little bit of room. Squeezes down in front of Zach Orr.
Zach Orr now in the 5th position. Dylan Ward starting to make his march towards the front here as Robertson looks to the inside of the rock star Sterling Clemens to maybe, just maybe, get second away as they stack up in the corner. Cross flags for the field halfway in this Colors Edge 100. And I feel like there's a lot that is about to happen from second on back. Not quite there yet, but we're getting close to seeing a lot of action and a lot of paint traded for those positions.
Well, we've got Dylan Ward built race cars, second, third, and fourth. And right now, Zach Orr sits in the fifth position. The points leader is in third. Orr needs to get in front of him if he wants to close the gap.
Dylan Ward now beginning to bleed a little bit of time here, and here comes Justin Taylor just a little bit further back of all of this. Our first side-by-side on the racetrack, and Robertson trying for a way underneath Sterling Clemens.
We've got the 0 side-by-side with Donkey Strong Justin Taylor just behind them. Contact between those two give Taylor the spot. Now action heating back up front as Nate Gregg gets under the 0 hero. Chase Robertson for the second position now is all over the 03 of Sterling Clemens.
So the battle with Gregg has cooled, and we almost have two battles developing for, I would say, second and for fourth.
Yes.
Because Dylan Ward is losing ground to Chase Robertson, and Zach Orr is closing in on him too.
Second, third, fourth, and fifth. Yes, I can count. Battles are on the track here in the Sportsman 100 coming to lap 56. Robertson trying to have patience. Zach Orr might be running out of it in that number 55 behind Dylan Ward's number 77.
The golden question here for everybody in the top five, I think, when do you press the issue? When do you try and move somebody out of the way? Chase Robertson has had the opportunity to move Sterling Clemens on multiple occasions and has elected not to do it at each and every turn. Zach Orr is starting to get his chances to move to the Ward, has chosen not to. When do they make that push, and do they leave themselves enough time to run down Zach Clifton if they've got the car to do it? Which I don't know exactly what we've got, but sparks underneath Clemens' car just a little bit on corner entry in turn one. They went away in the middle of the south turn, but something to keep an eye on as we progress towards lap 60.
You see the battle right now, or getting word that the 21 car of Tommy Neal did pull into the pit area under that break. Tommy Neal is getting some fluids right now by the medics, and Robbie Brewer has taken over in that number 21 car. So the Tiger Tommy Neal, we are told by track staff here, is getting fluids. He is okay. And Robbie Brewer is in that car to finish this Sportsman 100.
And it was a hot day down on pit road. I went down there, and I was glad I had a water bottle with me because I was drinking water in about maybe 5 to 10 minutes. It's the hot part of the summer here in Winston-Salem, and hopefully Tommy Neal can get what he needs to feel his best once again.
Action is heating up back towards the front. The battle for fourth, the number 77. You see the leader, the 81 of Zach Clifton. There is the 77 of Dylan Ward, and pressing behind him is Zach Orr. But don't look now, because Donkey Strong Justin Taylor is on the charge, rebounding after being a part of that caution early in this race. Yellow flag, speaking of caution, is out.
Nothing immediately obvious. The last thing I saw right before we got to yellow, Kyler Kelly was a little bit slow in the front straightaway, albeit Kelly was being passed by the leaders, so that could very easily have been a case of that car slowing down.
So Sarah back here is fired up the Chat GPT. I'm not a big fan of that, by the way. I thought you came up with these. I was so impressed, but you're just a Chat GPT modern person. Flush hairpin, talking about the Koger plumbing turns. Chat GPT thinks it should be a flush hairpin. No, we nixed that. It's not a hairpin. Royal flush bend. White tire washout. Drain curve. That's good. I don't know about this hairpin thing. The cistern chicane. Pipe dream corner. I don't know. We'll have to ask the Kogers if they want to name it. 1 to go. Cone is out here. Let's see who takes the bottom, who takes the top. We know the leader will take the bottom, the preferred groove around the quarter mile. So does P2. Robertson to the top. Chase Robertson, your points leader. He's not racing safe. He's racing for wins. Zach Orr follows suit right behind him in the 55.
big-time battles that have yet to really take hold properly, but we still have a lot of time left to go in this race. 66 laps up on the board. Green flag coming out here. Jimmy Absher pulls the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle off of the racetrack, and Zach Clifton will once again lead this field to green. How do they race now that we are starting to approach the final third of things?
Clifton gets the good advantage coming off of turn number 2. The 31 looks to slam the door. Now the side-by-side battle is for third. Plemons has it. Now spinning behind him is Dylan Ward into the grass.
Contact with Justin Taylor as they came into the north turn. That sent Dylan Ward around.
Ward was having a really good run in the Colors Edge 100. And now he will tag the rear of the field. We are coming to 1 to go. The cone is out. Quickie caution here at Bowman Gray. Great job by track officials. Once again, Clifton chooses the inside. Robertson chooses the outside. He is confident that he can either slam the door and get second, or maybe he has a chance for the lead from the top once again.
Maybe, emphasis on the maybe.
Perhaps.
But that is a possibility that we may see unfold here. 69 laps up on the board.
Potentially. Possibility, perhaps.
Evidently, apparently, maybe, as my brother would like to say.
The Department of Redundancy Department. Green flag is back out. Clifton, Robertson now looking to peek around the outside. No, he will get down and protect that. Justin Taylor, donkey strong on the outside of Plemons in the 03 in the north turn.
All right, now they're starting to get physical. Plemons just sent Taylor on the racetrack 3 wide in the middle of the corner. And Robbie Brewer, driving Tommy Neal's car, will spin along with Nate Gregg and bring out the call 811 before you dig caution.
Nate Gregg, last week's winner, is spun. Damage to the front of Dylan Ward's black number 77. The nose of that car. That was just a stack-up, an accordion stack-up, if I'd call it that, where you saw the 0 Hero, the 55, the 77. They all kind of got together there. Justin Taylor.
Keeping an eye on things here. More damage to the rear end of that car than the front end, I would say.
Well, 72 laps on the board. There is Justin Taylor's car. He will remain in the 6th position.
Things been to war a little bit.
Big shout out right in front of that. 2 cars in front of that. The 0 Hero, Kirk Sheets, with an incredible run.
Little note from Justin Mincy, the eagle eye here. So we'll take a look at the replay, see what happened here.
Taylor got loose there on the outside. It made a 3 wide, and then that caused a stack up with nowhere to go.
And of note, as we get another look at this, Mincy telling us that Michael Adams went to the pits. Looked like that car was not under power as it went to the pits as well.
Well, he had some engine trouble earlier today. They were unsure in morning practice if it was a carburetor issue. So they put another carburetor on it, but they've been plagued all day with some issues. Michael Adams not running a full season this year, only running the big shows, the 100 lappers. Great to see him back at the stadium. And a 100 lapper also for Zach Clifton, who's not running every race this season as well.
So there's the Gator, just running a little bit of speedy dry down on the front straightaway to make sure that there's not anything left. A lot of cleanup that's happened over there in the exit of turn 4. 74 laps complete here in this Colors Edge 100. 25 laps. We're almost to the point of a regular sportsman race.
Zach Clifton, 5 races this season. He is your leader. 5 races, 5 top 5 finishes for the driver of that Clifton Plumbing number 81. Started the season off in that Tommy Watson construction machine with a 3rd place run. A few weeks later, made a return, 2nd, then 4th, then the Sportsman 100 win, and now trying to get his 2nd win of the season for that 2nd-generation driver from Walkertown, North Carolina.
You get a little bit of a sort of Danny Bone-esque feel, I think, with Clifton, right?
Great point.
That Danny Bone, we know his favorite lap.
100-lap band, baby.
100-lap races are Danny Bone's thing. maybe in the sportsman division, that might be Zach Clifton's thing. Who knows?
You know what my thing is right now? Swinging a sun drop. There's nothing like the nectar of the South sun drop on a hot Saturday night in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. But hey, I don't care what you're drinking as long as you're watching.
Live on Flow Racing and on demand. Worth noting, while we're under yellow, that you can watch every single race from Bowman Gray Stadium at your leisure when you desire or when time allows. Been a great feature for me. Not here every week, but when I'm not here, I have caught up and watched this. Actually, watched last week's proceedings during a rain delay at the Hampton Heat at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. We had nothing to do, so I said, you know what?
Also on Flow Racing.
Yes, why not I go ahead and just turn on our race and see what's what. So we got to teach a lot of the track officials about some of the legacies of the Madhouse here, and that was a lot of fun. But another great facility that if you haven't had the chance to go visit in the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series portfolio and part of the Flow Racing and NASCAR portfolio, definitely a track we're checking out. Bill Mullis, Vaughn Crittenden, and that staff, they do a great job there.
There's the Zero Hero on the outside, a father of 3. Having his best run of the season, has been away for a few weeks and is now returned for the Sportsman 100. Green flag is back out. Will he be able to close the door? Robertson on the outside for the lead. Will he file back to second? Yes, he does. Third will be Plemons. Fourth, the Zero Hero, Kirk Sheets. Sheets now to the bottom of the 03, the Rockstar, and Kirk Sheets side by side down the front straightaway.
About to say it was really easy for Chase Robertson to cut in front of Sheets and Clifton as Mitch Gales goes around, and Robbie Brewer, I think, may have gotten into him. T. Dawson is stopped over in the middle of the south turn, and that will bring out another call, 811, before you did caution. But to finish the point I was making, and something I think we'll want to watch when we go back to Green Flag Racing, Kurt Sheets and Sterling Plemons were all over each other for the third position, and it made it really easy for Chase Robertson to get his spot down. Also, for what it's worth, Mother has chimed in on the what we named the Koger plumbing section. Says plumbers would say P-trap.
Oh, Lord.
So should put that to a vote on social, honestly. That's a, start a thread and drop your suggestions here type thing.
Well, there's T. Dawson's car spun. We just saw Mitch Gale spin, who was on an 11-race top 10 streak. Winner just 4 weeks ago, taking that miraculous win that we showed earlier where Chase Robertson and Zach Orr got together, and it parted the seas, as this donkey said, when it parted the seas like Noah. I was told today, don't you know your Bible? And I'm like, I knew as soon as I said it. I was like, Noah wasn't sitting there with the animals parting the sea. It was Moses. But hey, I'm not perfect. Definitely not. There's T. Dawson's Carolina Cowboys car. Carolina Cowboys, of course, the PBR team from North Carolina.
Believe they get to host their event in September over in Greensboro. Here's the shot between Brewer and Gales, and then Dawson just tries to check out to make sure it doesn't run into him.
And let's look at this again. There is Mitch Gales, and he kind of gets run over by Robbie Brewer, to be honest with you. Doesn't look like it was intentional, but it looked like Brewer overshot the corner there and made contact, sending the Auto Supply of Thomasville car around.
So,
Zach Clifton's first 100-lap win, that is the guy that's leading this race, came this weekend 4 years ago on the 24th of July. Can he repeat that feat? Can he become a back-to-back Sportsman 100 winner? Double file cone restart is out. The traffic control safety services cone.
We'll figure out who restarts where. As Clifton will go to the inside. Robertson goes high. Kirk Sheets is going to go to the high line here. I think he thinks he might have a better car than Sterling Plemons. We may see something off this restart. If that car's as strong as it was, if he's been saving towards the end, that's worth watching, I think. Kirk Sheets definitely could shake this up. And to the point of drivers saving things for the final 20 laps in this, there's something to be said. We've seen that time and time again in these 100-lap races. As Zach Clifton will get us going. Chase Robertson did not get going, and that sacked up Kurt Sheets. So Sterling Plemons will have the opportunity to clear for third, maybe even second if he can get underneath Robertson. And Robertson drives it hard down into the north turn. to make sure he locks down the second spot. Here comes Zach Orr looking to the inside of Kirk Sheets. Clemens is locked down third for himself. And how about Kirk Sheets with that great job on the outside? Dirt tracking him there, but he got the marbles, got loose, and Zach Orr will go underneath and take fourth.
Let's just bring Kirk Sheets to Eldora, please. That guy just sent it in on the outside a lap or so ago. I mean, I've never seen a more sideways driver since sideways Billy Barnes at Islip Speedway. This guy likes to drive a darn car sideways. I mean, it is fun to watch.
Big time entertainment here at the Madhouse. The problem for Sheets is that Sheets continues to lose track position. That car is faded. Tried to check it. Tried to get into the back of Justin Taylor, and all that did was open up room for Mitch Gales to come down onto the inside lane and take away another spot from Kirk Sheets as the battle continues to brew up front with Clemens and Orr.
You saw Justin Taylor get by that zero, and now Mitch Gale's working to the inside, but the Zero Hero is hanging on for dear life on the outside.
Two incredible battles on the racetrack. Big shot there in the middle of the north turn as Mitch Gales is trying to uproot Kirk Sheets, move him out of the way, take away the spot, and get the track position as we enter the final 10 laps, 10 fingers from the flag stand.
Here we go. The battle is on for third. Here comes Zach Orr, peaking for the third time in a row, third corner in a row, to the bottom of Clemens, trying to do it clean around the Rockstar. Great racing here at Bowman Gray as the leaders check out, but there are other great racing in the field right now, coming to lap 92.
Here they come, 8 laps to go. Zach Clifton is checked out from the field. Chase Robertson is trying to give every single little bit he can out of that corner. It may not be enough. Robertson's gaining. I just don't know if Robertson's closing the gap by enough, but a 7 to go.
Zach Clifton on rails today. That car has absolutely been stunning around Bowman Gray Stadium all season long, showing up very well prepared. That Tommy Watson construction, number 81. Next time by will be 5 laps to go. Unless we have a caution flag, it looks like he could be your victor.
Could be, but anything could happen here. If we're going to get a yellow, worth noting that Mitch Gales and Robbie Brewer are driving Tommy Neal's machine. Those two are very much right in it, a little bit further back. It's about the only major battle on track that we see, though, as Robertson continues to close in little by little, but he's not closing in by enough. That's the problem.
Well, Robertson, 66 points ahead as we entered this race. He has one car following him, and then Zach Orr, who sits in second. So another net positive night for Chase Robertson in that Jerry Hunt Super Center East Coast Wings, number 31.
The kind of night you use to build championships out of, and the kind of night where even if you don't have the fastest car, get big points, get a top 5, make it that much more difficult for Zach Orr to run you down for the title.
This time by, coming to the white flag.
One more lap to go for Zach Clifton. Found the speed early, got to the front. He stayed there ever since, and now is half a lap away from winning the Colors Edge 100.
Zach Clifton, the 81 car has been on rails all day. A name synonymous at Bowman Gray Stadium with victories in tonight. Win 27 for Zach Clifton. The Sportsman 100, presented by Colors Edge, is Clifton's
28th career win, actually, for Zach Clifton, but that ties him, how about this, with Pee Wee Jones for 41st on the all-time wins list, and that is the 229th win at the Madhouse for the Clifton family. They are now only 10 wins behind the Myers gang. A big, big moment for Zach Clifton, who picks up yet another 100-lap race as he will pull down to the front stretch and pick up the checkered flag before he visits the Carolina Wood Floors winner's circle. We'll have the opportunity to hear from Zach Clifton after he takes a well-deserved victory lap. A lot of claps here for Zach Clifton. Sort of universal appreciation as we've seen a whole bunch of people show their appreciation. Zach Clifton winner tonight here at Bowman Gray.
the Clifton Plumbing Machine. Of course, his father, Ronnie Clifton, one of the all-time greats. Here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And we said it about Lee Jeffries, how the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. This family has meant so much to Bowman Gray Stadium, much like the Myers family. We talk about them, but the Cliftons as well. Let's throw it down to Chris Carter in Victory Lane.
MJ Printed and Graphic, Tractor and Trailer Repair, Tommy Watson Construction, some of the few sponsors on this number 81 of Zach. Pouring water all over his head. I said it earlier to y'all tonight. Here we go. Make some noise! That felt good. Is this how we're going to do this? Me and you in Victory Lane. I kind of like this, man. What a run, Zach. You set the fast time. You wasn't playing around. You handle business just as Zach Clifton is known to do.
Man, I've ran here a long time. In the past 2 races, I've never had a race car like this. This thing's hooked up. It don't bob, it don't weave. It's like pulling this thing around a slot car track.
About 7 ago, people up there, y'all watch that 81 go into 1. When you go into 1, the way it cut, I described it as an almost perfect race car. I think I was pretty close.
Oh, absolutely, man. Tommy Watson Construction, he's watching. He's always watching. He's a big part. Sean Hackett, little man's around here somewhere. Right there he is. Good Plumbing, all my guys, man. We got a badass race car.
Good job, bud. Proud of you. Follow your whole team right here. You got Pork Chop here with you and everything. One more time. Let me hear you for Zach Clifton!
Zach Robertson, the big winner. Modified race number 2 is next on Flow Racing. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. Pulled a senior moment. there it is, Bowman Gray Stadium, the Madhouse. Next Saturday, another modified 100-lapper double file restarts, choose cone, all the drama. The 600-horsepower ground pounders, NASCAR's original division, highlights next week's card, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Saturday night, live on Flow Racing.
Big time part of the season.
Wave high.
As we offer is this our version of like the Kinnick Stadium Wave in Iowa City?
No, it's like iRacing when they hide themselves. Dale and Steve are always hidden.
Well, no, but you have to be like holding shots and shoulders, and both your arms got to be. We can mimic the pose.
Are we doing that thing we did at the soccer game where we go arm to arm and jump up and down?
We could do that
we
too.
went to the Charlotte FC game. Anyway,
winners tonight over Toronto FC, by the way.
Yeah, true. Modified race number 2. And before we go green, it's well noted to say that the Spini incident, folks, really isn't. Is it over? Because Spini said, I'm a man of my, in between races, quote, I am a man of my word. And as far as Burt Myers is concerned, I call it even now. 1 for 1, says Mike Spini.
Courtesy of our friends at Short Track Scene. So, what happens next in that rivalry?
Well, let's give you the starting lineup real quick for this one. Starting on the pole, the number 9 Tobacco Ridge car, Kyle Southern. To the outside, the Black Sand Company, number 69, it's John Holloman, the 4th.
Starting in 3rd, the number 83 out of Tobaccoville, North Carolina, representing Pulliam's Hot Dogs and Hayes Jewelers, it's the Rocket Tim Brown. To his outside, the Snowman, and the number 51 car out of Mount Olive, North Carolina, representing Wagner Appliance, Junior Snow.
Starting 5th tonight, the Q104.1. 104, it's point leader Brandon Ward. To the outside, the number 4, Machine Carolina Drilling, the working man, Jason Myers.
Starting on the inside of row number 4, the number 16 out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, racing for Taylor Auto Parts. It's the Showstopper and Madhouse Classic winner, Chris Fleming. Lee Jeffries, who won our first race of the night, racing in the number 75 Machine for Wahlberg Grill and Pizza out of Wahlberg, North Carolina. He'll start 8th.
Starting 9th tonight in the Camden Construction, number 7, it's Connor Branch. To the outside, in the Muddy Creek Motorsports, number 5, it's the Ironman, Randy Butner.
Starting on the inside of row number 6, the 07 out of Walkertown, North Carolina, racing for Inspire Dental Care. It's the real deal, Riley Neal. And starting on the outside of row 6, it's the number 64 Machine, the comeback kid out of Lexington, North Carolina, racing for BK Auto Sales. It's Ethan Truel.
Starting 13th in the AAR Roofing, number 12, Dean Ward. To the outside, the E-Metals 00, the Flying Taco, Danny Probst.
Starting in 15th, it's number 1, the Ace out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, racing for Citrus Safe Cleaners. It's Burt Myers. And then John Smith in the number 53 Machine is going to roll off from 16th.
Starting 17th, it's the S&P Lemonade, number 6, Slate Myers. To the outside, Crab Smith in the 99. Darren Redmond, Daniel Beeson, Mike Spini will start 21st. Skip Flores, 22nd. Bobby Meismer Jr. starts 23rd. Harwell and Dan Spini. But Spini will not make the call. Here we go. Twin 25, number 2, set for you tonight for the modifieds. These are the men that live by the grace of God. And 600 horsepower. Green flag is out. Sideways goes the 600 horsepower Rockets. And trouble further back. The number 7 car of Branch, all sorts of squirgly, and almost collects Burt Myers. Yellow flag is out.
Squirgly's a new one for me.
No, I've been saying that one for a while now.
Every once in a while.
It's stupid, but I say it.
Branch is stopped, and the Nerf bar on Burt Myers' machine is bent.
The front bumper, yeah.
And bent a little bit more.
Oh, it is. I've seen that front bumper bent a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, it's Bowman Gray. You'll have that on a Saturday night.
There it is. Great shot there by Elgin Trailer, zooming in on the famed orange bumper of Burt Myers. He has the Orange Bumper podcast, and that's actually a really entertaining show.
It's a great podcast.
It's awesome.
Great show. But it's part of what I love to see out of payment drivers, because I've seen the way that a lot of, especially dirt late model drivers, see a lot of that on Flow Racing too. So we look at the replay, see what happened.
Watch the 7 car with the pink bumper. Okay, the white car gets all sorts of out of shape, tries to save it, and almost collects Skip Flores, but does collect Burt Myers. Luckily, Burt Myers is a veteran, and what he did there in that situation was not try to turn around him where he can maybe do damage to his tire, he made sure, and this is exactly what Burt did, hit him square.
Squared up, yep. So as Connor Branch was getting squirgly.
Squirgly.
So, but to the point I was making,
yes.
Dirt late model drivers, I think in particular, have been great for a while out of making opportunities on social, creating personas, personalities, driving it home with merch, just the whole self-promotion thing. They've really understood well. And I think a lot of people at Dirt on the sprint side, too, get it well. It's not something that I think we've seen as much from on the pavement side. I think it's starting to come.
The content side.
I think we're starting to get somewhere, and we are finally getting to a place where pavement drivers are starting to promote themselves the same way.
Yeah. Cars Tour, we had Butterbean's,
the vlog.
Vlog. That was incredible there.
You got Bert's podcast, but like things like that. I love seeing drivers do more things like that so that you can see what their personality is like outside of a race car, so that you have more reasons to follow them, so that they can gain more fans and become more popular and draw more people in, and ultimately make the sport just a little bit bigger than it was. Big brain moments here, big brain thinking here on Floaters.
You know, when you have James Pike in the booth, you know there's going to be foreign languages, obscure soccer references, some fancy talk of some sort, because he's probably the most intellectual person that's entered this booth. Sorry, everybody behind us. I'm just talking about myself.
I'm not that smart.
I'm talking about myself here. I'm a Long Island modified brat, bull ring brat. So I'm not an intellectual.
I'll break bread in the middle and say
though.
Shout out to the New York Islanders, 4-time Stanley Cup champions. Shout out to Tottenham Hotspur, winners of the 2025 UEFA Europa League.
How do you go from the Islanders to Tottenham?
Teams that we like that have won things.
Oh, okay.
There was a method to my madness.
Yeah, there was.
Always. Come on, you Spurs.
I'm a real American.
As am I.
Fight for the rights of every man.
Just playing some college football earlier today. Having some fun with that.
Shout out.
Go
Shout out Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace. Ozzy Osbourne. Theo. We lost Theo this weekend from the Cosby Show. Rough week for a lot of people that love music, Hollywood, and wrestling.
Anything in the 80s in particular.
Yeah. Well, it could be a good week if the driver, the number 9, can hang on to the top spot. Single file restart from this point out. Green flag is out for Kyle Southern. Holloman, Superman to the back guy beam bumper, and he makes contact with it through turns 1 and 2. Driving down the east straightaway and jutting into him. They make contact and spin, giving Tim Brown the lead.
My goodness. I was going to say that John Holloman jumped on that restart, was doing a great job of tailing Kyle Southern, trying to go over the gap. Southern didn't leave it open. Both of them end up in the fence, and I'm not sure which of those cars has more damage.
I don't think I don't know, but all I know is it looked like Holloman just kind of overdrove the entry of that corner, and the 9 was coming down to hold his line. I'd love to see that one again. That was a very wild moment in the north turn.
So Holloman's going to try and work his way around Kyle Southern. Southern is stout there. As you noted, Tim Brown will assume control of this race. Junior Snow will go to second, and Brandon Ward will go to third. Talk about a potential just dream night for Brandon Ward to have all the calamity between Speedy and Burt Myers. As we take a look at the replay, we get a really good look at this and see what happened. Yeah. Holloman
late entry.
Charged the corner in a late entry, gets into Kyle Southern. Both of them go around in the middle of the north turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because it's like he did have a tire on. Geez, that's one of those judgment calls you hate to make it either way.
I think back to, and if you've seen like old Top Gear, they had a great segment.
Like the BBC
Top
Gear. Okay.
They had a great segment.
Not the Rutledge Wood one.
They had a great segment on the late great Ayrton Senna. And they brought up a clip of
I'm down for.
Martin Brundle racing Senna. And Brundle walked through a replay that looked a lot like that. Senna and Brundle came together in a corner and they both wrecked and they spun like that.
Well, because in road course racing, if you show a pass late, that's not acceptable.
But the point that Brundle was trying to make was that
on the front stretch here,
as Speedy and Burt try and get after it. But the point that Brundle was making as he went through the replay was that you would get put in a position where you would have to make a decision as to whether or not you were going to go to the inside on somebody. And if you didn't come over to block mentally, at that point you're buried. And Brun was making the point that that's how Senna saw things. That just you either have to go over and block in to make sure that mentally you don't get seen as inferior. And even if that means you wreck, sometimes that's the better way to do it, because then if you go over and you block, maybe you spin here, but mentally he knows that you can't necessarily get around you that easy.
Looky here, Pike. What do we have here? We have Burt Myers in the number 1 and the number 10 of Mike Spini. 1 for 1, says Spini. Are they even? Or, I mean, that's his opinion, but I'm sure that Burt Myers, who was knocked out of second position at the time by a slowing lapped car of Mike Spini, thinks otherwise. He, I can't think for him, likely does not find it very even.
Watch this space. Watch this space. I think that's all you can say at this point.
You know, just like any good book, just like any good country song, you got a hook, right? Well, the 10 did say that he might put the 1 on the hook this week. He didn't quite do so, but he took him out of contention, causing a 15th place finish in that first race. Some could say he's a man of his word. He said it. He said it in a quote afterwards. He said I'm a man of my word. That mysterious billboard that came up on Route 52 this morning with Spini's car and title, you know, the title's over, basically, paraphrasing, of course, with a silhouette of a car with a question mark on it, alluding to the fact that it was a Myers car. The mind games run rampant at a place like this.
I have no idea what to expect.
No, you never do, right?
It's part of the beauty and the brilliance of this place. But, again, and we said this point before, Brandon Ward could be a very big beneficiary. Tim Brown as well. Those two stand to gain a lot. The more that Spini and Myers,
lead.
right, and Brown's leading and Brandon Ward's in third. But the more that Spini and Myers fight each other, the more we could see madness.
Well, right now, your leader, it once was the Tobacco Ridge number 9 of Kyle Southern, but now it is the number 83. And Burt Myers' night could go from bad to worse. Because with his 103rd win, Tim Brown can now vault even further ahead of Burt Myers on the wins list.
Reestablish that lead a little bit that he had coming into the season. Also, actually, this might be the best way to frame it. I had a friend just send me a message about the whole Spini Myers deal. His way to paraphrase it, results may vary. And I think that's a perfect way to frame this and see how it shakes out. Because if we don't get some sort of fireworks around that or something around that, I'd be very, very surprised. And I'm looking over here. I can tell Greg Garrison, part of the staff here at Bowman Gray Stadium, has got his eyes ready to go if he needs to keep an eye on proceedings between those two.
Well, you know what? The stadium here takes a lot of flack for how they manage things. You've seen it today, this year, when we had some explosive moments, how they managed it. They've dollied out suspensions. Last week, 2 stadium stock drivers got put on probation. Today, excuse me, it actually was instituted today from that incident last week. Ricky Wall and Austin Cates. Cates was not driving the car, but he owned the car, but he is driving it this week, so he gets dealt out. The probation is what we were told by track officials. But very interesting. The stadium does, it's not a free-for-all here, guys. You know, if you're new to the stadium, you may think it is, but it sure isn't.
Now, there are a lot of drivers that are like that. There are a lot of drivers that have those sorts of relationships with one another. Part of the business here is the lights go off the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle. We're going to get the restart on lap 3 of 25. Tim Brown, your new leader. Junior Snow second. Brandon Ward third. Jason Myers fourth, and Chris Fleming up into the top 5. And Lee Jeffries has made it back up to 6. He was able to get around Randy Butner and I believe Danny Probst in that opening restart. So Absher will do his bidding, pull his car into the infield. Tim Brown leads just back to green flag racing, and Junior Snow gets a decent jump better than Brandon Ward as they're all single file here around the famed quarter mile. First three good, looking for battles popping up somewhere as Speedy and Myers are still nose to tail further back in this field.
Well, we'll keep an eye out further back in the field with Speedy and Myers, but right now your leader, the Rocket, Tim Brown from Tobaccoville, North Carolina, the Jerry Hunt Supercenter, number 83. Right behind him, though, is the driver that stole the championship from him. There is Myers and Speedy. There is your leader, the 83, and right behind him, Junior Snow. Noted Junior Snow and Brown getting together 2 years ago when the championship was on the line and there was contact made between the two drivers, and Snow instituted a little revenge of his own, taking Brown out of the title hunt. Third place right now, your points leader, Brandon Ward.
A little bit of contact further back. They're stacking up. Bobby Meismer. As Brown starts to gap Junior Snow. Brandon Ward hasn't really cut into Junior Snow's gap from second to third. Meanwhile, there goes Burt Myers to the outside of Farmer Ted, and Speedy is going to try and follow his lead, I think.
This is a pretty wild battle that we're watching here. Farmer Ted has given a fit to the ace. Way back in the field, this battle is going on. Speedy's just watching, which way do I go, which way do I go? Myers finally gets around Farmer Ted in that Z-Max machine. Speedy now trying to go to the outside. Here comes Holloman peeking his nose in. Speedy now to the outside, around Meismer. Meismer, who was crashed out in the first race. I'm sure he was not happy about that. Meismer's car is handling like a bear right now.
Not happy about anything that has just not fallen his way tonight, I think. If we're going to be fair about it, he was very much a innocent bystander, collateral damage in that first incident between Speedy and Myers. Meanwhile, Tim Brown has checked out at the front by a decent margin. If anything, the battle's starting to heat up for second, as Brandon Ward has started to close in on Junior Snow.
The battle is right on for second, though. Junior Snow in that 51. You see that car on your screen there, pink and black, number 51, hanging on for dear life. Right now, as Brandon Ward appears to be much faster. Halfway through this 25-lapper, single file all the way around the famed quarter mile. Ward, how much will he press on the back I-beam of Snow's Wagner Appliances 51?
I have a feeling at some point here, just because the pace difference is really starting to show itself over the course of a relatively long green flag run by Bowman Gray standards, Ward's car is really starting to come to life. Junior Snow struggling for the handle on his. Ward is going to start pressing the issue in the next handful of laps, and for no other reason because he is that much faster right now than the Snowman.
11 laps to go. 10 laps to go now, as we are on lap 15. History being made with his 102nd modified win last week for Tim Brown, a driver that had a 22-race win drought ended last week. That was much noted. But a driver that has had so many iconic wins in his career here at the Madhouse now sits on top.
With the lead that continues to extend, if you're Tim Brown, you would love to see this go green the rest of the way. Barely any lap traffic in front of him. Meismer's about a straightaway ahead, and that gap to second to Junior Snow only continues to increase as he's just about driving halfway out of his rearview mirror and halfway out of his windshield, just trying to hold Brandon Ward at every opportunity. It's working so far, but all that does is make it easier for Tim Brown to just set his own pace, run his own race.
Well, some people might look at this so far and think it's a nothing burger, but the battle is on for second position right now. Ward knows he's in the catbird seat. Brandon Ward does. Burt Myers is having one of the worst nights of his season.
And he is buried in this field, too. I think that's the biggest point here. Burt has not been able to make up any sort of ground whatsoever, and that, I think, is the biggest story here.
Burt Myers sits currently in 11th position with Speedy in 12th. So right now, if it ended, Burt Myers would finish the night with a 15th and 11th place finish. That would be terrifying for that team knowing that their championship hopes might have ended tonight in the Twin 25s.
A lot of work to do if this holds. I think that's the biggest point you can make here. A lot of work. It's going to have to be just about a flawless set of races running throughout August as the white flag is out for Tim Brown.
From Fuzzy Clifton, Ebb Clifton. The family tree here at Bowman Gray also includes the driver of the number 83 in white. Now it's win 103 for the number 83. Tim Brown's the winner.
Tim Brown back to back after not having won all season long. Will visit the Carolina Wood Floors Winner Circle for the second time in as many weeks. It's his 103rd career win at the stadium. His win percentage all time is just over 15%. That is fourth best amongst all drivers at Bowman Gray who have made at least 100 starts at the Madhouse in their career.
Wow. Win 103. Greatness. The all-time modified win leader, and now the all-time most winningest driver in the history of Bowman Gray Stadium. The Goliaths are swapping wins back and forth at this historic Coliseum, and tonight the upper hand belongs to the driver from Tobaccoville, the Jerry Hunt Supercenter, Hayes Jewelers, Traffic Control Safety Services, Pulliam's Hot Dogs, number 83, all chromed out in business in Victory Lane, pulls Tim Brown.
Tim Brown back in a familiar place here. They have found some mojo. In the meantime, let's go down to Bowman Gray Stadium track announcer Randy Pulliam.
Brown. Coming up next, the first 15-lapper for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. Tim and that Duggins Welding, Jerry Hunt Supercenter, Pulliam's Hot Dog, Raymont Power Car picks up win number 2, 2 weeks in a row for the Rocket. Tim Brown climbing out of the cockpit. Tim, second week in a row. I know what you said last week. You know, not a really big fan. These are my words, not yours. Of winning the second race, but nevertheless, second week in a row, picked up the win of the second 25-lapper. Second win of the season, 103rd in your career.
Yeah, I'm just glad that, you know, we can find our way back to victory lane. It's still not the same winning the second races, but tonight's super special because we got Todd Hunt and Jody and a bunch of employees from Jerry Hunt Supercenter here with us, and Cam and Marley and Megan's on FaceTime right here with Nicole, and I just wish they were here so I could hug them, but we're going to celebrate this. You know, 2 wins. We had a great race car. I screwed up qualifying tonight. It's on me. Just got to thank Todd, everybody at Jerry Hunt Supercenter. We got to thank everybody at Traffic Control Safety Services, Hayes Jewelers for all that they've done for me, Raymont Power, Pulliam's, Safe Day, Precision Suspension, Mobile One, Duggins Welding, this race team, Simpson, Steel, Strange, Autometer, TI Designs, Magnus, Pro Systems, Hypercoil, Tiger, Hawk Brake Pads, Safe Day. Scott, thanks for everything y'all do. Jeff Day's made a big difference in our race team, and just got to thank this team, man. They don't give up. It's hot. Everybody sweated their butts off today, and it's just great, man, and I love this place.
Congratulations, Tim. I know you want to go and pick up your 103rd career winner's trophy at the Carolina Wood Floors Winner's Circle.
Tim Brown making history once again. Just when you thought he was out. Just when you thought he was down and out. He comes back. Shine bright like a diamond. The Hayes Jewelers driver does so with so many iconic wins here at the stadium all the way back to 1993. The 21-year-old kid from Tobaccoville wins his first in a Twin 25. And look at all those iconic wins. 50, 75. Pike, we've been here for a few of them at the end. What an iconic career.
One of the very best to ever grace Bowman Gray Stadium. It does not matter how you look at it. It does not matter whether or not you like Tim Brown or not. The success throughout a career is undeniable. Both he and Bert end up on the Mount Rushmore, I think, when it's all said and done.
It's undisputed. You know, we said it with, it's undisputed. We said it with one of Bert's wins. Undisputed. These guys are the two Goliaths. You know, you can dispute, like we did on the broadcast last week, who will end up on top. Because it's a great debate. You know, Tim Brown had a head start on Burt Myers, let's be honest. But Tim Brown is also, look at that 15% win percentage. I mean, are you kidding me? Look at 145 career polls. Are you kidding me? Whichever side you choose, it's kind of like Bert said, Duke or Carolina. They're both great. I may hate Duke, but I recognize great needs to recognize great there. And even Carolina people will admit that Duke has a great lineage in college sports.
Is that a hate or a dislike?
It's only Rangers are hated more in hockey. Anyway, let's get back to this. Because Ben Brown is in victory lane, his brother, who missed some of those iconic wins last year. And that hurt. I know that hurt Ben. Ben works his butt off on these cars. And great to see him back from some knee surgery. Jeff Day and that whole crew has been working so hard all year, taking that car between morning practice at times back to the shop, changing the rear end, just throwing everything they can at it to find that common speed that they're so used to here at the stadium.
And they've had to work hard all year for it. They did not have the speed that they wanted in the first half of this season. Tim openly spoke about his frustrations and just not having the car in a position where he could make it do what he knew he needed it to do. And I think that's an important thing to note, that Tim's knowledge that this track is so good that when you know what you need and you just can't get the car to go there, it's tough. Really, really tough, really tricky. We'll take a quick break, though. We'll come back with more action on the other side of this break. You're watching coverage of the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series live from Bowman Gray Stadium on Flow Racing.
Stadium stocks are on the track right now. We're getting ready for their first of two feature events. Let's give you the starting lineup really quickly. Billy Andrews, the racing roofer, the roofing number 18's on the pole. Kimono, Japanese restaurant number 22 for Peanut Baker on the outside of the front row.
Starting in third out of Moxville, North Carolina, the Dean's Tree Service number 44, Blaze Sanders. In fourth, the 81 Velocita car out of Lexington, North Carolina, driven by Chuck Wall.
Starting in fifth position, Andrew Cates in the Disco Turkey 51. Then Colton Brown in the Jeff Adams Grading number 46.
Starting in seventh, the number 80 Triad Florida Inc. machine out of Advance, North Carolina, driven tonight by Luke Smith. A.J. Sanders in the 24 Parish Tire car out of Moxville, North Carolina, starts eighth. Dakota Miller, Tyler McDonald, Carson Reed, Brad Mikulowski, Brandon Lee Brendel rolls off from 13th. Austin Cates completes the 14-car field for this first feature of the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. Jimmy Absher will pull the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle to its place in the middle of the north turn, and Billy Andrews will lead us to green flag in our first of 2 Stadium Stock features as he slides way up the racetrack. Before we get there, they're going to call that initial start off and back and do it one more time.
Brandon Lee Brendel, your points leader, fires off on this one 13th. Last 2 finishes are 4th. He's got a long way to go and a lot of talent in front of him. Here we go. We re-rack it and restack it. The start, part 2. Andrews, first to the loud pedal. Peanut Baker slams down into the bottom groove into turn 1's and number 2. Peanut! Oh no, Peanut!
First call 811 before you dig. Caution comes out as Blaze Sanders gets into Peanut Baker, and both of them go spinning in the middle of the south turn.
The 22, the 44, the double numbers both go around for a double loop in the south turn.
Your beneficiary right off the bat, Luke Smith and A.J. Sanders.
Oh, A.J. Sanders just seems to have the luck, the horseshoe, indeed. And now he will be in the 4th position. It looks like Peanut Baker just got a little bit out of shape there. I thought about my kid. My kid loves Peanut Baker. He's 9. He thinks it's cool that a guy's named Peanut. And he's got a little peanut on his race car and all this. And the other week, when Peanut spun, he shouted out, "Oh no, Peanut!" So I couldn't help it there. Shout out to you, Hudson.
Lights already off of the modern Chevrolet Pace vehicle. Replay here what happened. There's the contact between Blaze Sanders.
Oh, there was contact. Oh. Good catch there, Pike.
I believe that was Andrew Cates, I think was the 3rd car to go around there, the Disco Turkey Mobile. Saw them play last night. Sadly,
did you go?
Sadly did not get the win against the Uwharrie Wampus Cats.
Oh, another Wampus Cat Disco Turkey Fest.
Classic rivals.
Yes.
In that world.
Well, the driver up front, he's no Wampus Cat. He's the racing roofer. Spent some time in the mountains this week working on the roofs, but right now, cleaning gutters and roofing is not his worry. It's the guy on the inside, Chuck Wall, who just stole first position from him. Here comes Luke Smith to fill the hole and get second as well.
Chuck Wall is gone. Luke Smith tailing A.J. Sanders in 3rd. Tyler McDonald in 4th. And Brandon Lee Brendel already up to 5th after starting almost dead last in this race. And the driver who started properly last, Austin Cates right behind him. So those two have gone from 13th and 14th to 6th and 7th in a handful of laps. Impressive work for both of them.
Luke Smith has really turned up the wick here at Bowman Gray Stadium as of late. There is the Andrew Cates, number 51, and Peanut Baker, Colton Brown side by side further back in the field. Looking at this battle right here as Peanut tries to rebound after a little bit of a cracked shell. Yes, I said it. Carson Reed just in front of that group on the outside of Dakota Meller trying to make hay. Further up front right now, Andrews has a handful for the 3rd position. A.J. Sanders is now challenging for that 3rd spot. A.J. Sanders gets drilled in the back by Tyler McDonald.
Crazy to think that Tyler McDonald has not visited Carolina Wood Floors Victory Lane all year long. For as good as that car is in this division, he might need a little bit of help to get back up towards the leaders. If he got some track position and a call 811 before you did caution, he might have a shot at this, but he's going to need a little bit of help. Wall and Luke Smith are long gone from this battle, but it is very entertaining to watch this fight for 4th.
Well, that top 5 streak that McDonald had as we come to halfway ended 2 weeks ago, and it ended with an 8th place finish, and then last week a 14th place run. So 2 bad starts in a row for McDonald. Now he peeks to the inside. A little daylight underneath the daylight colored number 24. Here comes McDonald in the north turn.
McDonald with the push, the fight, the shove, and the opportunity to get the spot. But how about Brandon Lee Brendel looking at the inside of A.J. Sanders? They make contact in the middle of the south turn as Brendel leans on Sanders into the north turn. Sanders tries to drive it in deep. They bounce into each other once again in the middle of the corner. And Brendel trying to do this pass the easy way on the inside. Now will complete the pass, and A.J. Sanders hits the spot. Now Tyler McDonald finally gets underneath Billy Andrews for third.
McDonald making hay through this field. So is Brendan Lee Brendel, who started in 13th. Now your leader approaches lap traffic. The number 81 of Chuck Wall in the north turn approaches lap traffic. He's knifing his way through there like a knife through hot butter. Luke Smith trying to follow him as well in second position. Third position now, give it to Brendel. Fourth position to A.J. Sanders. Actually, McDonald is in third. The scoreboard is wrong. Fourth place would be McDonald, and fifth place Brendel.
Chuck Wall's having to dive between some of these lap cars here. They're running inside, outside, not making it easy, but he was able to clear them, as was Luke Smith, as we approach 2 laps to go in this first stadium stock feature. McDonald third, Brendel fourth. Another one of those runs that Brendel can put in his back pocket. Not the win he'd want, but another step closer to the stadium stock title.
Well, it could be a fourth place finish in a row for that driver. White flag is out for the driver of the number 81. Little donuts on the side of that car. And this driver is one of the greatest to ever hold the steering wheel here. And he proves it again tonight. Coming out of the north turn, Chuck Wall win 38 for the great 81.
He now ties Randy Moore for second all-time on the win list in the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. Impressive company, and he has the opportunity to take over second outright before the end of this season. He'll have plenty of shots to try and get one more win and one more opportunity to put him in Carolina Woodflow's victory shirt. I bet he'd love to end the year with 40 wins.
Oh, that would be great.
I don't think that's out of the question at all.
He's had such an up and down year, so it's great to see him back in victory lane. A hardworking man. The Greg Butcher Trucking supported machine, Velocita, Tri-City Plumbing, Wall Investment, Little Donuts. I could say that on the side of the car. Little Donuts, J&T Services, of course. But now he gets to hold that checkered flag and take the famed victory lap here around Bowman Gray Stadium and do it with a big smile on, knowing that things feel good when you win a race here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Still, we have another Stadium Stock 15-lapper and a chain race for you left here on Flow Racing. So keep it locked on. Fourth win of the season for the great Chuck Wall.
Chuck Wall will finish off his victory lap, and
we'll finish off. He'll finish off his victory lap, and you know what I'm going to do when he finishes off?
What?
I'm not going to finish off the Little Donuts in honor of Chuck Wall, but I'm going to finish off my S&P Lemonade.
Lemonade, yes.
Seth just brought S&P Lemonade for our whole crew. How about that? Flow Racing Blood Flow. That's a blood orange flavor. Flow Racing S&P Lemonade for sale here at the stadium. But let's go down to the Greg Butcher Trucking number 81 driver. And right now, Chris Carter has him in victory lane.
Big old drink of water. Here he comes, race fans. Let him hear ya! All right, I'm gonna get this right. Win number 38 for Chuck Wall here at Bowman Gray Stadium, fourth of the season. You a bad dude, man. Tell us about your night.
I don't know about bad. We've been pretty lucky over the years. We got a pretty good hot water underneath us. We struggled this morning, but I think it was 2 bad tires. We put some different tires on it. We took off. Can't thank John and Mike helped me out enough. All the other guys in the shop stuff. Got to thank Greg Butcher Trucking, Little Donuts, Jimmy and Teresa with J&T Services, Adam with John Baker Plumbing, B&B Shirt Designs. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out. I apologize. My wife's at home. She's been underneath the weather a little bit lately. She's doing a whole lot better. Hopefully she'll make it next week, but it'll be a little bit cooler.
I hope to see her here so she can celebrate in your next win, man. Congratulations. Way to go, Chuck.
Thank you, ma'am.
One more time. Y'all make some noise!
All right, big win for Chuck Wall. Let's take a quick brace. That's all, folks. Porky Pig is here in the building. Let's take a quick break on Flow Racing. Stadium Stock race number 2 is next, and the Midway Mobile Storage Chain Race to end out the night.
Welcome back to coverage of the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series live from historic Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Chuck Wall has found his way to Carolina Wood Floors Victory Lane in our first race for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. We've got 2 more races on the cards. One of them is the second race for the Q104 Stadium Stock Series. Matthew Dillner, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready for the starting lineup. Let's go.
Giving me that nod like you're ready for the race. Just looking at me like, yeah, let's do it.
I'm ready for you to say, hey, let's go to the starting lineup. Well, how about you say it?
Hey, Matthew Dillner, let's go to the starting lineup.
Well, on the pole, the number 12, AKP Realty Machine for Tyler Rose. On the outside, the Moxville Tire, number 01 for Joel Stewart.
Starting in the third position, number 83 Machine, the Outlaws Diesel Performance Car, driven by Michael Cates. He's out of Winston-Salem. And number 4 on the grid, out of Lexington, North Carolina, driving the 88 Greg Butcher Trucking Machine, it's Zach Taylor.
Oh, Mr. Little Donuts. Starting in the third position, welcome back to Bowman Gray Stadium for this driver. Tonight it will be number 20. His son just raced in the last race, Bobby Reed. And to the outside, the stacking pennies, number 15 starts 6. That's Andre Chavez.
Starting in 7th, the number 33 car out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, driven this evening by David Rose. Starting in 8th, out of Abington, Virginia, and the number 16 Everhart Lawn Care car, it's Kevin Cantor.
Starting 9th tonight, he'll have Yakin Concrete finishing in Moxville Tire on the car. But we all know he's part Pinto, part Mustang, and he's all Pintang! It's Chris Allison, the number 7. To the outside, it's Lightning McQueen, the number 95 S&P Lemonade car for Levi Holt.
Starting at 11th, out of Kernersville, North Carolina, the Squeaky Clean Express, number 25, driven by Matt Goodwin. Starting in 12th, out of Lexington, North Carolina, in the Clifton Plumbing, number 11 car, Sidney Sanders.
And the rear of the field, in the Redneck Race Parts, number 9. Welcome back to the stadium. One of the nicest guys in the pit area from Walnut Cove, North Carolina. It's the Bill Elliott Tribute, number 9 for Robbie Shrewsbury. Great to see Robbie back at the Madhouse.
We're going to have a lot of fun, I think, with this, the final competitive race. We got a chain race coming up, too.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So, fun to be had. Fun to be had coming up, but we're not quite there yet. We got to figure out what's going on here with all the madness at Bowman Gray Stadium.
The cars are stopped right now on the front straightaway as we tend to a possible medical emergency here at the stadium. But I think it's a perfect time to take a quick 30-second break. We will come back here at Bowman Gray Stadium with the finale of this one. Another race and a half left to go here at the Madhouse, and we'll be back on Flow Racing.
8 WGHP 100 for Brad's Golf Call Modifieds. $3,000 up for grabs, the Fans Challenge. They qualify for the starting positions, but the fastest 4 qualifiers can take their chances. Instead of doing the redraw, it will be a full field redraw. They can take the Fans Challenge, go to the rear of the field, and if they race their way into the top 4 for a finish, they'll collect all or part $3,000 in Fans Challenge bonus money. You'll also see twin 20s for the losses of John Barrow Sportsman Series, racing for the QRCA Tractor Refrigeration Street Stock Division, and racing for these very same 204.1 Stadium Stock Series. All next Saturday night on the program. We hope you'll be with us next Saturday night here at Bowman Gray Stadium.
Welcome back to coverage of the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series here at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Taking a brief pause to tend to a situation on the front stretch, but the cars are now rolling, and we are closing in on the start of our second feature for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. Their second race of the night about to begin.
We're back live on Flow Racing. Thank you, James Pike. As we get set here for the Stadium Stockers, 15 laps on the card for this final Stadium Stock race of the night.
Going to be a lot of fun to see these cars. A lot of variety here. You can get to a Stadium Stock in a lot of different ways. You think of like the Keatons, you have the quasi-dirt late models,
Yes.
a lot of old Fox body
Wish
Mustangs.
they were here still.
Right. Could be an adventure, to say the least. And we've got a few cars sort of in that vein.
We got some legendary cars in the field, too. I say legendary because there's a few in here. You've got, Lightning McQueen back there. But then you got Pentang. Moxville Tire number 7. Some new T-shirts coming out about 5 weeks ago. But Chris Allison, a legendary driver here who loves driving a legendary race car. And, if you're a fan of, the Cars movies, right? The tow truck. Wait, I get people shaking their head. How can you not like the Cars movies? Gosh, that's almost grounds to be kicked out of the booth.
You know what? I think if you don't like the Cars
go
movies,
home.
You should be real gone from this booth.
You should be real gone from this booth. But Tow Mater, if you like Tow Mater, maybe Rusty's, you should like Pentang. And of course, in front of that car is the Ketchow number 95 S&P Lemonade car right in front of Chris Allison's car, of Lightning McQueen Levi Holt, who has been really showing his stuff. The little car that could is one of the faster cars here in this division.
A lot of fun to be around, too. So I had the opportunity to host some friends local to Winston-Salem here at the track today, and we went walking through the pits just to see all the cars, and immediately they saw the Lightning Bolt and the 95, and they knew exactly what the drill was. So I think I had the opportunity to chat with Levi, got his hero card, got the opportunity to say hi.
Sarah back here doesn't like the paint scheme. She says it's like halfway to Lightning McQueen, so it's not.
It should be a red car. It should be a red car.
Thunder McGirt or whatever she called it. I'm like, come on, man. No, that is full-out Lightning McQueen, and it's all cool because it's got the eyes in the front, eyes on the front windshield, and it's also got lemonade on the hood, and you're drinking one of those lemonades right now. Think she's having the blood flow.
About to say she drank one of those lemonades.
All I see is ice.
That lemonade is real gone, the same way that the pace cars had to be real gone, because we are about to go green flag racing here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And we will get set with the second of our Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series features. Off and away we go. Tyler Rose with a great jump. Joel Stewart immediately to the second spot. And the battle will begin for that third spot. Zach Taylor trying to find his way on the outside. Everybody else making a charge from the rear.
Wow, some muscle shown, some moxie shown by Pentang. Deeper in this field, he's midway up, and he's making a charge now. Don't look now. Moving into fourth on the outside. It's the charge of the Pentang.
Pentang is making a move, and Lightning McQueen is following very closely behind. Levi Hull trying to work the outside, get a spot in time. Oh, Joel Stewart just about lost it in front of Zach Taylor. And here comes Chris Allison with a big send on the inside to try and take away that third spot. He will, as Levi Holt gets moved up the racetrack just a little bit further back.
Joel Stewart making contact to the outside wall there. Give P2 to Pintang. Now Joel Stewart with some trouble. He's coming to a little bit of a slow here on the front straightaway after that hard impact on the east straightaway wall.
Tyler Rose is checked out front. Chris Allison trying to lead the charge with the Pintang and rumble his way back up towards the front.
Shout out right now, Zach Taylor in third position in the number 88 Little Donuts machine. Has been really turning up the wick. He is not a race car driver by trade. He just started racing this year. He planned on splitting the ride with his in that street stock car and the number 88, but decided in the Chuck Wall machine to try out the stadium stock and practice in morning practice. He took a liking to it as the driver, the number 88, who's in third position right now behind Pintang, and he loves driving this thing. So it's great to see. And there you're seeing on your screen right now Sidney Sanders underneath Michael Cates, track worker Michael Cates, and that number 83.
He talked about it earlier. He was one of the orange shirts earlier tonight. He's in the race car tonight. So had to wait the track crews cheering on one of their own as they fight for position a little bit further back in this field. Believe that would be 4-6 if my math is correct. Cross flags coming though halfway here. Continue to see the battle between Sidney Sanders, Michael Cates. There's your leader, Tyler Rose. There's second, Chris Allison. And just behind this is where the fight really begins to heat up. This group here, Levi Holt's the center of it. Zach Taylor's in there too. But they could stand to get a little bit more track position. They got one more driver that they have to try and fight around in order to have a shot at Chris Allison.
5 laps to go. Tyler Rose at the front of this field. The one thing that he does not want to see right now, James Pike, is a yellow flag.
Because he's got clear racetrack all around. That's Kevin Cantor also in front of Levi Holt. I want to get confirmation from timing and scoring in our setup here.
Kevin Cantor, a guy that could get it done, racing in Virginia, racing in North Carolina. Really, his starts here so far this season in that Curry machine have been pretty stout. And now he's reeling in Pintang.
Pintang continuing to hang on. Oh, contact there between
Chavez.
Cantor
What
and
was
Andre
Chavez
Chavez.
doing?
He blocks Cantor, and that's going to allow Levi Holt to make the pass.
Wow, that was unbelievable. The lap car getting in the way. Now trying to get to the bottom. Cantor didn't go to the outside. The 15 tried to go to the bottom. Blocked him. Did he so? And gives up the spot to Levi Holt. Now back to 4th for the driver of the 16.
Keeping an eye here on the front because Tyler Rose is about to enter a blockade, and it might allow Chris Allison to have a shot at this. They get single file. They're going to need to create a lane, but Chris Allison has a chance here if these lap cars don't get out of the way.
This is going to be hairy here in the closing laps. White flag is out. They get together in front of them. Clear track in front of them now. One more set of corners to get through for Tyler Rose, and he now is a winner at Bowman Gray Stadium.
That had to be heart in throat for Tyler Rose. They wrecked right in front of him in the middle of the south turn. And thankfully for his case, they both spun off the racing surface. Tyler Rose is able to drive away on the outside, and he got to collect himself for half a lap before he earned that checkered flag and is going to find himself momentarily in Carolina Wood Floors winner's circle.
Well, David Rose spun in front of him, and I think the 12 car there of Tyler Rose's stadium stock light flashed in front of his eyes.
Truly.
Tyler Rose becomes the 151st different winner, according to historian Justin Mincy, to win a stadium stock race. But great job by the driver of the number 12 car of Tyler Rose, Dalton McGuire of Forsyth, Farm Bureau Insurance, AKP Realty, number 12, gets the Bowman Gray Stadium checkered flag, and he'll be able to drive that thing around and visit Carolina Wood Floors Victory Lane here at the stadium. A very popular win in the back pit area of the stadium stockers for this driver.
A Rose by any other name tonight sounds like winner to me.
Yeah.
I think. But best way to put it.
The rookie Rose does it.
So completes his victory lap.
Look at this. Look at the drivers. Oh, here we go. This is what it's all about. It's all about family right here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Oh, that is a great moment there. It's David in the 33, who probably felt terrible about spinning in front of his son there in the closing laps. But son stops, gives father checkered flag. You see the smile right there. If you're a dad, you understand what you're seeing right there, and it's absolutely beautiful. Amongst the madness here at the Madhouse are heartwarming moments such as this. Let's throw it down to Randy Pulliam for the first-time winner.
In the Keller Williams Elite AKP Realty car, Tyler Rose picks up his first career win. Tyler, let's turn around here so Eric Messer can see and our folks at Flow Racing. Congratulations. First career win. How's it feel?
It feels great. Got to thank the family, wife, Wyatt, Lakin at home watching, all my family behind me, and my sponsors, Keller Williams, that's Delete Paul, Dalton McGuire, Farm Bureau, and Webster & Sons Plowman.
Tyler, soak up that first win. Head over there to the Carolina Wood Floors Winner's Circle to pick up your very first ever winner's trophy. Carolina Wood Floors, open your doors to beautiful floors at Carolina Wood Floors.
Pike just looked at me while we were watching this, and he said, that's my favorite thing I saw tonight was seeing, father and son victory lane, but son give father checkered flag on the way to victory lane instead of taking the moment for himself. Yeah, that's just a moment that you never forget, and look at them on victory lane, the family. This is a great moment here at Bowman Gray Stadium, a place that means so much to a lot of families here, whether you work on the track crew, whether you work up here in the booths, if you're a fan sitting in the stands, or you're a competitor or crew member, that's what it's all about.
I was thinking ahead because we usually get a final thoughts here, and we'll do that after our next race. And I knew immediately, before you even asked me tonight, that's it. That's my moment. It's just that shot of David Rose with the checkered flag in hand walking towards victory lane. We've had a lot of great stuff pop up this evening, but that, to me, will be my pick of the bunch. So we can we'll just reiterate that, I guess, when we get to that point here in a little bit. But we have one more race to come our way. Matthew Dillner, we're about to chain race our way out of here.
Before we do that, let's take a quick 1-minute break. We'll be back live on Flow Racing with the chain race.
Once again, it's always a special time when these drivers pick up their first ever victory. Here's the Madhouse, and Tyler Rose did it just now. His name will go in the record books. Race fans tonight, I want to remind you that after the race tonight, if you would like to enter the pits, please enter the pit area from the walkway behind the press box, please. If you're going to the pits afterwards tonight, please go to the pits from the walkway behind the press box over here on the west side of the stadium.
We are back live on Flow Racing. And guess what, folks? We got ourselves a chain race. Robbie Shrewsbury looks like he's lined up for it, but he is not going to hook on to David Rose's car here. Rumors are not true of this, but we have a debate. It's a two-car chain race, or is it a 4? Because there's 2 cars, 2 sets.
It's a good question to ask here, I think.
Let's throw it back down. Let's throw it down to Randy Pulliam real quick, and we'll come back.
For this chain race, All right, race fans, look at the scoreboard and count down with me. We'll wait for the 33 to get to the pit. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go chain racing.
And we're off for the wonderful wide world of sports type race here. It's a spectacle at Bowman Gray Stadium, and it's the chain race. 2 cars chained together. Well, that first car has the motor, of course, the steering wheel. The second car, he's hanging on for dear life because he's got the brakes. And look at the smoke billowing from the back of the Wyatt team with Corey Coffey, the 70 car in the 12 in second place right now. The perennial favorites, they are getting in trouble, though, right now as the Johnstons are just spanking them.
So it's Tony Johnston Jr. and Sr. in that lead pairing, the white and the yellow cars, and then Corey Wyatt and Corey Coffey currently in the second spot. So is it the Coreys and the Tonys, the Coreys and the Johnstons, the Hatfields and McCoys, the Chevys and the Fords, the Sharks and the Jets? Plenty
the cats and the dogs.
Yeah. Plenty of pairings you could throw in.
Well, you know, Corey Wyatt is a stalwart of the chain racing wars, demolition, skid plate racing. He's been absolutely phenomenal in that number 70 car. I think they've won here, according to Justin Mincy, the last 2 chain races. Last time with Gina Southern Combs, Andy Southern's mom. He's catching them.
Yeah, they are starting to make some ground here. Your leaders are in, I believe, it looks like an old Honda Accord and maybe a Ford Focus perhaps, and then an Acura. I know it's an Acura TL that leads the Corey train. And
the Corey train is coming.
I'll get a lead on the trailing car there that Corey Coffey is piloting when it comes back around. But they have reeled this group in.
Corey's not holding a pretty chain.
No, he's not. Hard to tell. Couldn't get a good read on that. Maybe a Nissan Versa, perhaps?
Well, whatever it is, here comes Corey Wyatt to the lead.
Impressive drive from them. They got loose in the middle of the south turn and rebounded in the second half. And so now the Johnsons are starting to put the pedal down. Go for it here, but they also got a really poor run through that north turn the last time by. So work to be done to try and close this down, and going to be 3 laps to do it here when they come back to the stripe.
Well, Wyatt is out in the lead. Wah, wah, wah. Will he make it 3 in a row? The driver, that number 70. A lot of fans sticking around for this one. 2 laps to go. You never know what's going to happen here. One little mistake can send you in the wall or send you spinning.
And we saw how this race flipped over the course of the first half of it. The Coreys did not have a good start. They were behind by about half a straightaway. They had to rally to catch the Johnsons. They rallied. They've gotten past them. They've almost extended this lead to what the Johnsons had at the start of this race when the Coreys got loose in the south turn.
Is it 2 laps to go? I'm confused.
We shall see.
I didn't see the white flag.
We shall see. I would imagine 10-lap race, so we're likely looking for the white. I see the white flag here. Coming out of the flag stand, show 1 more lap for the Coreys. And trouble with the Johnston car that was slow in the front stretch.
Oof, that didn't look good. That looked like it was going to be a chiropractor. But hey, they're coming off into the north turn right now. Here comes Corey Wyatt and Corey Coffey. Chain, chain, chain. Chain, chain, chain. Chain, chain, chain. Chain of Coreys. They win it. Corey and Corey are the victors.
I didn't realize you had pipes like that, Dillner. How about it?
Terrible.
Although we are the chain of fools up here, no question about it.
We are.
As it stands, Corey Wyatt sweeps the chain races in 2025. The last driver to sweep chain races in a single season, Jeffrey Moser, in 2019. So Wyatt tying a 6-year-old record here at the Madhouse. Impressive work in every race.
And only Justin Mincy, a treasure, a national treasure. He should get some sort of award from Washington. Oh, there's Corey Wyatt climbing from his car. Look at that. The victor in the chain race here at Bowman Gray Stadium. Eric Messer Oh, we got burnouts, backstretch burnouts.
About to say, if
that's pest control.
Right. You're not leaving empty-handed if you're there on the backside. So, Corey Wyatt, how about that? King of the chain races, and there's no broom on the front stretch for him. You'd think there'd be a broom somewhere. Disappointing that there's no broom, I would say. But earned it, deserved it, got the job done. Got
night. It's the end of the night.
Right.
Thank you for pressing my buttons, buddy.
You're welcome.
The end of the night, and I got to ask you, as I do every time, what's your takeaway from the night?
I got to go back to David Rose. I made the point a few moments ago, but just that shot of him walking towards victory lane, smile as big as the whole field here. Couldn't wipe it off his face. Checkered flag in hand. That's about as iconic a shot in a good way, because we think of fights, we think of people getting mad at each other. That's what we remember about Bowman Gray. It seems like more often than not. But moments like that, they deserve a really, really big spotlight, because you see that at Bowman Gray too. And sometimes I think that story gets lost, but so neat to see how rewarding that was as a father, I think. It was the biggest thing for me. But to see Dad celebrate his son end up in victory lane. Here are the rest of the winners from tonight's program. Lee Jeffries and Tim Brown got the wins in the modified races. Zach Clifton won the final 100 lapper. The Colors Edge 100 this evening. Chuck Wall and Tyler Rose got the stadium stock wins. And Kendall Craig Hartless, yet another first-time winner in our QRC HVAC and Refrigeration Street Stock Series.
Well, we got a lot of racing coming up here on Bowman Gray Stadium. We've got 4 big races to close out the season. The Modified 100, my favorite, the Twin 50s double foul restarts for those guys with the Twins. And the Twin 25s, and, of course, Night of Champions on August 23rd, which is double points night. This place will be packed.
And a huge, huge night as well, because if you've got friends that you want to convince to get on Flow Racing, that race is also going to be simulcast on the NASCAR channel as well on Tubi. So big audience for championship night here at Bowman Gray. Justin Mincy's got a thought, too.
He's got a thought. He said his bright spot of the night is Craig Hartless finally winning in his 51st start. Of course, I'm a big fan of 51.
A lot of people to thank for our broadcast this evening. Behind the scenes, a lot of great folks in Concord. Jordan Nemeth and Quentin Marquis pulling all the triggers and pressing all the buttons in our big production studio. And then our team here at Bowman Gray that made things happen. Our field director, Ryan Gavel. Our camera operators, Sammy LeCount, Melanie Judd. Sarah Aikens overseeing things on the side. Elgin Trailer out in the turns. And then our engineering team, Will Adams, Matt Strickert, and all the great folks here at Bowman Gray Stadium that make it possible, led by Greg Garrison, also true for Justin Hearn, that whole team helping us get it done.
We saw a lot of action tonight. In the Sportsman 100, we saw patriotic moments. We saw madness. We saw promises. We saw rivalries. We saw bent sheet metal. We saw Mike Speeney call his shot like Babe Ruth, and Burt Myers is not happy about it. We saw a Sportsman 100 winner. Twin 25 ground-pounding action. Peanuts spinning around in circles. Folks, this is the Madhouse, and it doesn't get any better than this. I'm Matthew Dillner for James Pike. Until next time, we'll see you at the races.